Okay, a very warm welcome and hello. Ben Brophy here. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for giving of your time. It is Saturday, the 1st of May. Can you believe it? So firstly, I'm just saying hello and let me know that you can hear me, that you can see me, and importantly, you can hear me. That's a good start. And then we'll crack into some content. Okay, so okay, brilliant. That's great. And now let me just type in hello, hello, hello. Thank you. We've got lots of people all around the country and even across the world on here this morning. So what I'm going to do now, we're going to share the screen. Just let me know that you can see my screen, please. Okay, so. Okay. Lovely. And just going to look at the chat. Okay, fantastic. So we're just getting everything ready to rock and roll. Can see screen, audio's good. Just let me know, do you also see me as well? Because this is something when you're running and hosting webinars, you don't always see what the end person. So can you still see me? Okay, perfect. Okay, we got there. Lovely. Okay, guys, well, look, thank you firstly for being here. I really honor you being here on a Saturday. For many of you, it's Saturday morning, but if you're watching internationally, it may be another time. So most importantly, or not most importantly, but just quickly, you may be thinking, who am I? Who's this in front of you, this bald chap? And what's his objective today? So I've had the pleasure of working and sharing with many of you, but in case I haven't, and in case we haven't met, hopefully one time when we're allowed to travel, when we're allowed to actually share in person, that may be a reality. But as we know, the world's adapted, it's changed quite quickly. And this is me. My name's Ben Brophy. I've been a lead trainer with the Internet Business School for over a decade. You know, I subcontract and just work with Simon. I've trained thousands and thousands of people around the world. That's me, the bald chap next to Big Tony Robbins. That's me and Simon in Slovenia. One of my hobbies is outward bound activity and trekking and climbing. And then the bottom right there is me sharing the stage and working alongside Simon and the team all around in 4 continents, which has been an absolute blessing. The reason that I do this, I know that's a little bit of a cluttered screen. I do apologize. Starting in the top right, from Vietnam to Singapore to all around Europe, to writing books with people like Danny Rampling, ex-BBC Radio 1, working with Hay House publishers, publishing in the sort of personal development field, writing for magazines, working with charities, helping people. And then the top left, that little bar in the top left, is basically me on a laptop, working with some of the skills that I'll be sharing with you this morning about having a transferable lifestyle. So as we know, we've kind of been forced into this area, more so in the last 14 months with all of the lockdowns and everything that's been happening. But very importantly, if we have some of the skill sets, and definitely that's why I wanted to learn a lot of this stuff, was, do you know what, if I have my laptop or if I have my mobile device, as long as I've got internet connection, it doesn't really matter where I'm geographically located. And I love to travel when I've been allowed to. I'm never taking that for granted again. But that's me sharing coaching, creating videos, helping people get to the top of Google, to YouTube, working with people, doing mentoring, and working on websites and all sorts of other stuff just remotely. And the reason that I do this is that I love to learn, I love to share, I love to help people, and I love to see the tangible difference it makes to people's lives. And I think it's important to give back, which is why I've sort of been involved in many charities. So lovely to be here. That's enough about me. Time is precious, as we all know. Let's crack on. And let me ask you, how are you doing? Obviously, we have been through a very strange 14, 15 months, and it still continues to be somewhat different. So let me ask you, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being absolutely amazing, couldn't be any better, 1 being really, really challenged. Just at this moment, kind of this week now, how are you feeling? So 1s couldn't be any worse, 10s couldn't be any better. Let's just get a feel for what we've got on the call. So we've got 6. And if you just type in 6 to 7, we've got a 4. We've got 6, 5. So a lot around the median. 5, 5. Okay. 6, thank you for sharing. Anthony's up on an 8. So Anthony, I'm just going to ask you, why would you, anyone who's up on a 7 and 8 or above, just type in something that contributes to kind of feeling that way, please. Is it that you feel in control? Is it that you're kind of looking after your health? Is it that something good in particular has happened? I've got a getting there. Okay. Okay. So how would you specify getting there? Sunshine is helping. Absolutely. What a difference the weather does make, of course. Raring to go, Quasi saying fantastic. Okay, so we've got quite a lot of 5 and 6s. So thank you. And I've been doing this over the past 40 months, and it's really interesting because we can be on the same call. And I think this is important. Obviously, things have shifted a bit in the past few weeks, but not to assume that everyone's in the same boat, because everyone's riding this kind of this ocean of craziness in their own times with what's going on with their families, with their business, with their sort of insecurities, with their challenges. And some people will be on the top of a wave, or, you know, at the top of the roller coaster, feeling great. And for other people, often on many webinars, we've had 1s and 2s, and it's just like, I've got no hair to pull out, but they've been wanting to pull their hair out. And then we say, okay, let's see if with what we share over the next hour or two, that we can at least help shift something to move it up 1 or 2 places. I'm just looking here. So we've got optimistic about the recovery, which is helping. Just about to start my internet business. Brilliant, Anthony, hence sort of probably being quite enthused. Sue, 5, I'm caring for my partner with Parkinson's, so not very different to before COVID. Okay, well, best of luck with that, Sue. And Jangit saying, forgive my rudeness, good morning all. So good morning to all of us. We're a team, right? And we've got plenty of people here. Great to be here. And I'm just going to share Michael Ogbonu. If you could come across to the other chat, please, very much. Michael saying hello, good morning. You're in the Q&A, Michael. So if you come across to the chat, look around your screen and you'll see that there's a chat option, and that's where we're going to put the interaction. So thank you. We're not all on the same boat. I'm feeling good. I'm feeling like an 8 this morning, right? And hopefully I'll be able to transmit a little bit of that. And I will share with you, part of that is that I'm very careful about what I allow into here, what I'm feeding into myself, and the sunshine's helped. And I played football last night, which is always great. Okay. So let me just say, it's the 1st of the month. We are already into the 1st day of May. We're in the 5th month of the year. And to me, I don't know if it's the same for you, but it's absolutely flown by. Okay. So what I'd just like you to reflect on, because that's, you know, 30, 60, 90, 120 or so days that have gone in this year already. Okay. So I'd like you just to quickly reflect and just type in, please. And I do this, I'm not going to be doing this the whole way, but I do enjoy to interact a little bit. But I just want you to actually contemplate, what is it? What's one thing? So, excuse me. I'm going to be doing the first session. Let me just let you know what we're going to be doing. We're doing the session. This will last about 45 minutes. And then we'd be doing a little exercise for about 5 to 10 minutes. And then we're going to hand over to Caroline, who's going to be doing a fantastic video session. Okay, so just because I know it's important to know where we're going and what the roadmap is, and then we'll do a close at the end. But importantly, what's one thing that you're happy about? Just take a quick reflection in the past 120 days, big or small. What's one thing that as you look back on it now, you're happy? So managed to stay patient with my wife who has dementia. Bless you, Jerry. So just quickly type in, guys, so we can move quickly, please. Still being alive. Wow, Philip, what a beautiful reframe. I'm going to give you a gift. Somebody remind me at the end. I'm going to, just because you've reminded me there, I'm going to give you Tony Robbins' code of conduct, which is basically his life philosophy, which you normally only get on his Date with Destiny. And I'm going to send you that at the end of this. And one of his reframes, he's got 27 reframes, and one of them is, every day above ground is a great day. We survived. There's thousands of people around the world who didn't wake up this morning. I'm grateful to be alive. Thank you. Okay, so I'm just looking at some of the chats. This is lovely. Thank you for your interaction, guys. Still been alive, have had COVID, survived it. I've joined Internet Business School. I'm positive. I never got COVID. I'm going to make big money. Great, Quasi, good. 3-month extension to being employed. Fantastic, Alex. Thank you. I can actually think again after the loss of my child. Bless you, Joy. Wow, you know, context, everything is context. It's how we focus and look at things like that straight away. There's an expression, I thought, what was it? You know, oh, it'll come to me, but it's basically sort of, you know, I had a sore foot and I thought it was bad until I met a man with no feet who couldn't walk. It's always about perspective. There's always people much, much, much worse off than us. So always to count our blessings. Okay. Health has been good. It's another day. So another opportunity at the bite of the cherry to pursue your goals. Brilliant, Edward. Thank you. Marcus is grateful that he's been vaccinated. Okay. So still surviving. Well done, Heng. Money helps, but health is king. Thank you for that reminder, Judgit. Let's just remind ourselves this, and I know a couple of people, I've actually just been at a funeral last week. Health is wealth. It's cliched, but let's imagine in the next hour, you were just told that you had 2 months left to live, okay? Let's imagine that one of your nearest and dearest, let's not even go there, but let's imagine that something happened or they were no longer here. Without our health, everything else is immaterial. So always be working. I've just been doing training the last 2 days. Always be focusing on your health should be a priority, okay? Health is wealth. Everything else, the money, I know people have got money, but they haven't got the health. They haven't got the ability to go out and enjoy it. Okay, so health is key. We've got Grateful for Life. We've got written my first chapter in a book with other amazing authors. We've got COVID gave me opportunity to spend very precious time with my boys, and I still have a job. Health is excellent too. It's been a challenging 3 months, but feeling positive with Internet Business School. Okay, great. So thank you. We're just sharing. I like to do sharing. It's a nice way of masterminding. I could just be totally prescriptive in what I'm talking about. I've got that in the can as well, don't worry. But it's nice for us to interact, and it's nice for you not to just be in passive mode. So we've just reflected on one thing that you are happy about. So what I'd like you to just think about now, if there was one thing between May and December the 31st, if there was one thing, it doesn't have to be the thing, but if there was one thing that you would turn back at the end of this year, starting from now, the 1st of May, and say between now and then, I'm really glad that I did that, or I achieved that, or that I changed this, or I made that that move, or I invested in this, or I made something happen, or I created something. What's something I want you to now think over the next 7 months, because we're already into month 5, guys. Okay. So we're just having a quick reflection. Many people, they have their goals and then they wait until the 1st of January, the 2nd of, not normally the 1st, they're normally hung over on the 1st, 3rd, 4th, 5th of January to start thinking about what they want to do in the year ahead. So let's just have a look. Okay, fantastic. Philip saying to get my book or ebook published. Easy, okay. So please just type in. I want to share a few, just go quite quickly because I've got a lot to get through. Arena's going to launch her own coaching program. Make a note of this as well. This is for you, okay? It's for us, but it's for you. So please, as well as you thinking about this, write this down, please, because this is your little commitment to yourself, kind of literally, mentally and physically by writing it. And you're going to remind yourself of this throughout the next few months. Happy I've made it this far and will be something 50, 60, 70 on the May the 4th. Happy birthday, Jem. Jerry is halfway through her book. Jadjit wants to be present-minded, focus on today and day. Kwasi's going to publish 3rd book on Amazon. Way to go. Jem's going to be, is finally going to be 50. Launched my digital marketing service and gained 2 clients. Brilliant. Right. Fantastic. So I'm going to share with you something. Get my internet business up and running smoothly to replace my income. Launch my digital business. Left the job and energy on my own business and seen great success. A team of 100 strong and helping 1,000 people on our books. Charity work central to this. Amazing, Joy. Well done, Marcus. Everyone who's sharing, thank you. And if you haven't typed into the chat yet, please think about this. And what I normally say as well, please switch off any distractions just so you get the most of this morning. I'm sure you have, but if you've got Facebook going on in the background or Saturday morning TV, I doubt it, but if you have, I would suggest switch those distractions off so you get the most from this session. So please make a note of this. This is proven, firstly, that act, as you know, of actually writing down. There is something very powerful in that. The people who write down their goals are more than 95% more likely to attain it. But also, just an exercise, a little digression, but something to do. We're not going to focus on it right now. I would like you to write a statement. I am so happy and grateful now that I have published my 3rd book on Amazon. I have started my business and everything is in place. I'm just reading that I have my team. So I am, so this is an affirmation. but because so happy and grateful, trust me with this, this is super powerful. I am so happy and grateful now that, so you're affirming to yourself as if it's already happened, now that that I have achieved success in my digital business. I'm just reading through. I am so happy and grateful now that I've launched at least 15 niches in online business. Okay, Michael. So what I would ask, Michael, is it actually 15 niches that you want to launch? Or is it actually a target objective of, let's say, X amount per month? No right or wrong, but often people like, do you actually want 100, a team of 100? Or is it that you want to have the results that may give you? 100 staff could be quite a big headache, potentially. I'm not saying it is, it could be. So be very clear about what we want and why we want it. I'm so happy and grateful now that I've quit my job and I'm starting the new year fresh and focused. Okay, so I am so happy and grateful now that I am so it's a little tip. Okay, so very good. So that's just a little pre-frame before we jump into deeper content. Now this is really powerful again. So we're starting, what I'm going to do, I'm about to share with you how you can grow a business, but these are just some very, very useful reminders and life skills. Okay, we haven't got time to do this. I do like a whole morning or a whole sort of evening's webinar on this, and this can go really deep. But I would like you to think about this, because I've only got an hour or so to get through content with you this morning. But what I would like you to think about, and have this as an ongoing sort of project, so you can have this on your computer, have it on your phone, have it on a notebook, whichever format you prefer. Please work on this over the next month, and it can be longer, it can just be work in progress. And I would like you to become cognizant, to become conscious, to become aware, all of the same threes, same thing, conscious, cognizant, aware, depends what language you prefer. Some people hate the word conscious. Okay, fine, just become aware. What in your life are you doing that is working for you? And you can be more granular with this. You can focus this on a relationship, you can focus this on your career, you can focus this on your digital marketing business, you can focus this on your health, or you can just look at your life, because we are interconnected beings: health, wealth, relationships, friendships, hobbies, interests are all part of who you are. You know, we all have these interconnected areas. Sometimes people just think that their internet business is just, that's part of your overall life. You still, if you're a parent, you're still a parent. You still have to look after your health. You still have to do the other things in your day. You've still got relationships. Hopefully you've still got at least some of your family or your parents. So what's working for you? Start making a note of it. It could be for your business if you want to get specific, or your project. What am I doing that's working? The second thing to focus on, or not the second thing to focus, but the next column is what's not working. So what we're doing is we're becoming aware, because we are creatures of habit, and we tend to do lots of the things in a habitual pattern. Okay, this is fact. You all know this. We tend to drive to work. When we drive to work a certain way, we tend to get up and have a specific pace to our day. On the whole, we are creatures of habit to our week, to our month. Okay, so work out what's not working for you. And then thirdly, think about, what can I do differently? Okay, this in and of itself is so simple in its concept, but one of the world's top coaches, Dan Sullivan, so if you just make a note of that link at the top of the page, bit.ly/Dan Sullivan 10x, is from the Genius Network, which Joe Polish hosts. And Dan Sullivan's one of the world's most successful top coaches. And when Joe Polish introduces him, he says, Dan Sullivan is probably the single greatest coach and expert I've come across. Dan Sullivan comes and does a 45-minute talk based around this. And he says, believe it or not, with the top businesses, the top CEOs, the top executives, I just literally, this is the thing I work on with them, and I get them to do one more thing. Every month we work on a 3-year goal, and this one exercise transforms their lives, transforms their business. So every month, do one more thing that's working for you in whichever area, or your business or your life. do one less thing that's not working and try one different thing. So you're doing 3 different things. You're doing one extra something that's lifting you or is moving you in the right direction. You're cutting out one of the people, one of the tasks, one of the wasted times, one of the energy drains that is pulling you away from where you want to get to each month. And then you're trying something different, because we don't want to just be going in a loop. We also want to try a different approach. It's like the bee flying through the window, thinking if it keeps hitting its head on it, it's not going to get through the window, no matter how hard and resolute it is. It needs to move around and try going up there and through the little gap in the window or wherever it came from. He says, once you get to about 6 months of this, they start expanding out. But I'll leave that with you, because this isn't the focus of this conversation today. But that in and of itself is an incredible. Go and watch that talk, bookmark that talk, bit.ly/Dan Sullivan 10x. So we've got Quasi saying, I'm so happy and grateful now that I have embarked on the Serious About Success program. Love that. Thank you. Right, so the core content that I want to share with you this morning, I've already given you a couple. Honestly, I know I've skimmed over it, but that doing something, doing more of what works, doing less of what doesn't work. This could be with your relationship, could be with your children, or it could just be in your life in general. And then trying each month to do something different. Do one of those each month, and that will start to really ramp up your results and your happiness, and all good. So let's jump into how you can increase any business using the Business Accelerator optimization model. So full credit, I'm saying full credit to Jay Abraham, who came up with the model, not the tactics, but the model. And this is incredible. So if you've seen this, it's always good to remind you of this. But just to let you know, I spent £2,500 on a 2-day course just on this chart. Just on this chart. Okay, it's that powerful, with Jay Abraham himself and other business owners. So in any business, it doesn't matter. People, please type in, if people can please type in what business you're in or that you're interested in going into, just so I can get some examples that I can talk about. So whichever business in, there are 3 key fundamental metrics, apart from the cost side of it, managing your costs and keeping an eye on costs. So we've got digital marketing. Okay, thank you, Paul. Yeah, we've got affiliate marketing, we've got education, we've got wellness, coach and health. Okay, great. So I'm just going to wait for a few more to come in. Whatever the topic, the area or the niche, network marketing, organic supplements, great. The music business, hi Andrea, thank you. An eBay consultant, health online courses, legal, shipping, meditation, gutter cleaning and gutter problems, sorting out gutter problems. We've got internet business, publishing, local business, digital marketing, blockchain, affiliate marketing. Keep them coming, thank you. Network marketing, brilliant. No matter which of those, Forex trading, and any other of the thousands of different niches around the world, 3 fundamental metrics to pay attention to: the number of visitors or the number of customers, visitors to your website coming into customers or to your physical premises, or if you're a gutter cleaning business, you know, the customers, the amount that people spend with you. We've got digital marketing, aviation, oversight, consulting, chatbots, great. Principle still the same. How many customers, how much people spend with you when they engage with you, and how frequently they buy from you, they engage with you. So those are the 3. So if we look at the 3 columns on the screen in front of you, the number of visitors or the number of customers, the average spend per visit, and the number of visits per year. So just keeping everything very square and rounded. If you have 100 visitors spending 100 of whatever your currency is, wherever you are, it doesn't matter, 4 times a year, then your revenue is 40,000. Okay, simple math. Now, if we can increase each of those by 5%, so let's just go down one row. If we increase each of those by 5%, so we go from 105 visitors or customers, and instead of spending £100, dollars, euros, we'll say pounds because I'm in the UK and most of us are, it goes up from 100 to 105, and we go from 4 visitors to 4.2, slice one of them into a 0.2. We've just increased our revenue by, in this example, 16%. Okay, we've gone up to 46,305 just by each of those 3 metrics increasing by 5%. Nothing major, but we'll take a 16% increase in the business, nearly offset any VAT. Okay. What about a 10% increase in each of those 3 metrics? Again, we're not looking at lots of different metrics, 3 key metrics. So if we can increase each of those visitors, the amount that people spend with you, and the number of visits, it increases the business by almost a third, by 33%. This is powerful. This is called optimization. This is Jay Abraham who worked this out, and he's worked with, like, he was Tony Robbins' business coach for many years and still works alongside Tony, but he's literally put billions cumulatively on the bottom lines of many thousands of businesses with this one model. Okay, but this is where the real magic happens. What if you were to really knuckle down and to focus on how you can increase your visitors? So we're going to do a quick brainstorm in 15 minutes or so in a moment, but as an ongoing exercise, if you could increase the number of visitors to your number of customers by 25%, if you could increase the amount that they spend per visit, maybe simply by just changing your branding, updating your website, putting another product next to it, upping your price, just testing it. Let me just test my price, raising it by 10 or 15%. Let me see if there's a difference straight away. That could, in many instances, not in a perfectly competitive market, you've just made a 10, 15% increase, okay? Link that in with your branding. But anyway, we'll get on to some examples. If you could increase the number of visits per year, maybe simply by setting up on social media, maybe by doing a monthly newsletter, maybe by posting once a week or once a day on social channels, maybe by building your email list. There's loads of different ways. So if you could increase each of those by 25%, look on the right hand column, bottom right hand is where your eye wants to go to. This is the power of optimization. 100%, nearly 100% growth just by increasing those 3 metrics by 25%. It is an incredible strategy. I will, let's go into this a little bit deeper. Okay, so here's a good tip. Go through your own, all of us, you could teach me loads, absolutely no doubt about lots of things in business, as could we each. And that's why I often like to mastermind, and we'll do a little bit more in a moment. But could you go through your previous trainings, whatever previous training you've done? Can you just actually sit down, or maybe if you prefer to think whilst you're walking and you're up and about, just go through your business acumen and your business experience and your know-how, and just come back and put everything into the context now of this business optimization model. For example, using a worksheet similar to this, it can be as just rough as this, it can just be on a bit of paper. You could just have a bit of paper, draw 3 lines, and just use it as work in progress, and just, or your lines paper, and just something like this, and just brainstorm. Okay, over the next month, 2 months, let me just brainstorm ways that I can potentially increase customers. Let me go through the manual from that course I did 2 years ago, and let me think about, okay, SEO. Oh yeah, that would help more people come to my website. So that's a way to increase customers potentially. Great. Okay, yeah, increasing the average spend. Let me try putting a related product or service next to that, or when I offer it, if I'm on the phone, let me say, well, rather than booking 1 coaching session, would you like to get a discount on 4 coaching sessions that can be taken anytime over the next year? That's what most people do, and it will save you money. Something as simple as that could significantly increase the amount that people spend with you. Okay, and that's just one tactic. Tactics to increase the frequency, we've just mentioned a couple, but just start to work with some kind of sheet, or if you're on the computer, get your document open or your Google sheet and work with something like this. Pull your business know-how. If you're let me ask you, in fact, this is a good question to ask. How much time would you say that you spend consuming content as opposed to creating content? There's no right or wrong, and this isn't to catch anybody out. This is just out of my personal interest, and I'll share with you why in a second. So if you're 100% consumer, that's fine. We've got Alan saying 70, we've got 90%. Just respond quite quickly, guys, because I've got quite a lot to get through. So the quicker we, okay, thank you. So 80, 20, 90% consumption, 65. Okay, well done, Joy. So Joy's doing 35% creation. We've got 70, 30, 80, 90, 95, 95. Great. I ask this a lot at lots of different places. So this was, for me, I heard this about a year ago and it really sunk in. It's like, ouch. So we've got 80, 60 coming through. So most people at least sort of over 60. The creators are creating for the consumers. If you think about all of the influencers or all the people that you're watching on whichever platform you like, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, it doesn't matter. Those people are creating for you to engage with. So people say, yeah, but Ben, I'm really busy. I haven't got the time. Let me just give you back your time, and then you can close your laptop, switch off your phone, jump on and crack on with your day. Okay, I'm about to give you back time. Take a minimum of 10% of your consumption time and just reallocate it to creation time. All you need to do is watch 2 less YouTube videos a week. Just stop the surfing on the Instagram or whichever platform you use, and use that time and allocate it to creation time. If you want to be a super achiever, take 25% of the time, but even 10% of the time, if you just think, if you take 10% this week, I could create a new blog post, I could create a new video, I could create an Instagram or something that has just given you and allocated your time. The people who are sharing are creating for the consumers. So the question, just to be mindful, again, everything is, it's not about judgment, it's about being aware. Can I shift to put myself in front of more people? Because the more people that we're in front of, the more people we help, the more percentage of those will want to, by the law of reciprocation, naturally, if they like and engage with you, will want to engage with your product or service if you're a decent person and you're helping them and you have helped them. Okay, so that's a way that you can get back time. So let me just jump in and share a few tips with you. Who likes tips? Who'd like a few tips? Type in yes. I'm just going to have a quick sip of my drink. Okay, lovely, Alan. Yep, lovely, Tassos Arena. Catherine saying, I want some tips. Anthony, Heng, Jerry, Philip, Arena. Lovely. Okay, so let's just jump across. So one thing that you could do, if you haven't got a website, set up a website. If you want to be super quick, not the most advanced, then just go with something super simple like Squarespace. But we always recommend WordPress on the whole for many different reasons. I'm not going to go into that now, but get a website set up a social media, or pick your social media. Better, sorry, let me reframe that. For your target niche, because obviously time is everything. Maybe if you're a little bit overwhelmed, think, where is my target demographic? Where's my target audience? Which 2 social media platforms, or if you've got no social media platforms, which one is a priority for me to get rolling with? Better that you jump into 1 or 2 rather than try to do 6, 5 or 6. Go deeper with 1 or 2. And then as you get competent at that, roll out. So get a website set up and use a tool such as Site Analyzer. So what's Site Analyzer? It's a free tool. If you can just type in yes, if you can see my screen should have just changed. Just want to make sure. Yeah, fantastic. So come to site-analyzer.com, put in your URL here. You can use the free trial. And what this will do, this will basically reverse engineer your website and tell you loads of ways that you can improve your website. Okay, go back to your chart about how to increase customers. What about, just because you use this free tool, you learned about things that you could do to improve your website. Okay, but Ben, how do I then get those things done? If you don't know how to do that, go to a web developer, whoever did your website, or go to upwork.com. Make a note of that, please, upwork.com or fiverr.com. And if it's WordPress, just type in WordPress at the time, type WordPress fix, okay, WordPress coding, WordPress SEO, and there are thousands of developers and people around the world, geeks from all around the world, who you can probably pay 10, 15, 20 pounds to make many of those changes. And just even if you made a change a week, imagine that, one little change a week, that could help your website to rank higher, to reach many, many more people so that you can get more customers. Thank you, Ben. You're welcome. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay. Another tool that I haven't put in the slides is called Optimonk. Okay. So again, I'm just going to share with you. I'm just going to throw some things for you just to go and explore and to see what you enjoy and what resonates for you. But you can use the free version of Optimonk. Okay. The smarter way to increase sales and drive conversions. Use laser targeted personalized messages to treat your visitors like people, not like traffic. Okay, and they've got lots of reviews here, and they've got some big companies raving about them. Okay, so there's a couple just to get you going. Oops, a daisy. Let's just come back into my slides. There we go. Okay, so because you're here on the Internet Business School, What's OptiMonk? Go to the website. I've just shown you it rather than drilling down because I've still got a bit to get through. It's a good question, Tassos. Just go to the website and explore it. It's going to help you with your conversions. But thank you for the question. Okay, so let's look at some ways that you can increase your e-commerce checkout. So reduce the customer risk. Anytime I'm asking you for money or you're asking somebody for money, there's the scales are about to go down. So take away the scale. So it's totally in their favor. Money back guarantee. You've got to do it by law anyway. So shout about it. By law, you have to offer a money back guarantee. So shout about it. Turn that into an over asset. Most people don't, but let people know you've got nothing to lose. The risk is on us. Make your cart items visible at all times if possible. Shorten the number of checkout pages. It should be easy to move through. And we're going to have a look at a couple of case studies in a second. Offer free or flat rate shipping, so try not to stack up the cost all of a sudden at the end. You've all done it where you buy and all of a sudden the shipping comes in really heavy and you're like, ouch, that's just bumped it up. It's what EasyJet and all of those guys do. It looks cheap at first. It's only a £50 flight. By the time you've got one baggage and you've chosen a seat and you've got a bit of leg, well, I'm 6'4", so I need leg room. Okay, well, that's more than double, at least double what the price is. I took my guitar on holiday last year twice at the beginning of the year, and it cost me more for the guitar than it did. But anyway, there we go. But let people know what the prices are as early as possible. Allow people to potentially gift it. Okay, if you don't know how to do it, don't worry. You don't have to know about the hows. That's not necessarily your job. That's why we have coders and we have developers. You want to be the puppet master. Just instruct, unless you want to do this and work it out yourself. More importantly is for you to think like a jigsaw puzzle and just work out what needs doing, then instruct people to do it. Give people payment options. Some people prefer to pay on PayPal. Some people, believe it or not, not many, maybe check, maybe it's a cash deposit direct. If you've got the ability, okay, it may take a little bit more admin, but give people options to pay. Okay, on the whole, it's all pretty straightforward with many of the systems we use these days, but some people do prefer different options. Can you split it for people? So obviously it means that you're not getting the bulk payment up front, but maybe people pay just a little bit more if they drip feed if it's a bigger unit purchase, then make it easier for them, especially with what's going on now. You've then got cash flow over the next 2, 3, 4 months if they're paying the next 3 installments. Show progress through the checkout progress. Allow customers to add items to a wish list. Let me ask you, I've already this week, maybe 5 things that I'm not ready for right now, but I'm like, in a few months time or next year, or I want that, but I don't need it right now. And it would just it would be a cost right now and it would just clutter up. But in due course, I would like that. Allow people to create a wish list. Don't force customers to create an account. So if possible, let them check out without having to create an account. And if possible, provide lots of product or service images from different angles and preferably a video. A video, as Caroline will demonstrate, and especially after watching this training this morning, Caroline's going to share with you how to make a video, but just with your mobile device. But it could be as simple as, just filming, walking around it and just showing what the features do, or even without showing what the features do, the benefits, just walking around the product or the service, or explaining the product or your service, if it's not a product, to camera. Could you increase your credibility through the power of association? So rather than me talking about this, let me show you an example. Here's the Internet Business School. Straight away there, success leaves clues. So what have we got here? Let's just look at this page, and we're going to have a look at a couple of pages. In this example, made it very easy for people to contact. There's a contact us, but there's a phone number. Some people, quite a lot of people, especially with bigger purchases, like to be able to pick up the phone and speak to somebody. There is the business address here, which gives it credibility. If you haven't got a business address, or if you're just kind of working out of a caravan, or I don't mean that taking the mick, I mean, I'm just saying it doesn't matter where you are, then go to Companies Made Simple. I believe it's .co.uk. Let's just have a quick look. Companies Made Simple. Yep, companiesmadesimple.com. You can actually set up a company from £25 within 30 minutes, but they also have a number of different registered addresses. So that's what many people do. They have registered addresses that will get any paperwork that you can put on your websites and on your business and on, all of your social platforms. And then it's not, you could still be working out of your caravan. You're probably not in your caravan, or wherever you are, your home, your bedroom, wherever you are in the world, and it will give you a nice professional registered address. So that gives credibility. Over on the right hand side at the bottom of the page here, we have a phone number, we have links to social. Don't worry if you haven't got all of these, I'm just showing you like best practice. We have the Google and the Trustpilot. So what we're doing here is power of credibility. And then importantly, and Simon didn't used to have this on the Internet Business School, he had all of these assets of, well, you know, he's lectured at Oxford University with the Royal Bank of Scotland, been featured in the Sunday Times. All of those instantly give credibility. Now, you probably won't have name, you may do, but even within your peer group, within your industry, if you have any photos of you, your team, or any accomplishments with influencers, maybe you've got awards, maybe you've got accreditations, maybe you have been featured in some press, take the logos and get them put onto your websites or onto your social platforms, and or both. Straight away, that's credibility. Okay, and that will help with conversion rates. More people see that straight away, they've got trust in you. If you haven't got those things, that's fine, something to work towards. Okay, let's go to the next slide. I'll jump straight onto this slide just because I'm watching the time and I want to make sure Caroline's got her full session. So don't worry, the last slide was basically this, but this is a better one. So let's have a look. Remember, everything that we're talking about is how to increase customers, how to increase the amount they spend with you when they come with you, and then how to increase the frequency. So here is, who knows what this page is? Who's this a page of? Somebody type in, please. Now, whether we love them or loathe them, would it be fair to say that they know what they're doing? Now, I don't personally agree that they're sucking up much of the business of small businesses, and that's just my personal belief. I have to put my hands up and say I've used them a lot, but I'm trying to use them less now. So I'm trying to support smaller businesses. But they are the world's biggest business. Let's have a look. Do you think that they know exactly what they're doing? Of course they do. Success leaves clues. So on the right hand side, here are loads of tips for you, by the way. On the right hand side, make a note, because these are things that could help you with increasing the number of customers and the amount that people spend with you and the amount of times they come back with you. So on here, top right, we have social share buttons to make it very easy for people to share across on social media. Got a nice descriptive title, helping people to find exactly what they're looking for with the different nuances. So Apple 13-inch MacBook Pro, and then they've got, you know, the more geeky people who are looking for the actual spec like this. So they've got a nice long description. They have reviews. Okay, even if they've never ever sold it at $9.99, straight away they've put a higher price and put a line through it to give a comparison. You see this at speaking events all of the time. Recommended retail price, even if they never sell it at that price, that's the recommended price. But don't worry, it's not that price, it's this price. So look, they've got red, they've used different colors for, so all of these are proven things that part and parcel contribute to their success. So let's learn from the people who are doing it the best. Okay, reds, they've got red, blue and black, different colors to make different things pop out. They have got good descriptions. They've got add it to a list. So maybe we want it in the future, like we just talked about. They have got security, just to give people assurance. They've got a nice visual, and you can click on that and you can see the product from different angles, each of them. So for whatever your product or service, describe it, make sure there's a visual of it. Okay, they have got also bought with, so get your warranty, get your case, get your laptop case, I don't know, get your accessories. So they're putting this, people who bought this also bought. So it's like, oh, well, if I'm buying this, and a lot of people like to see what other people have bought, just by having that in front of them, people will take the 3-year warranty. If it's not the 3-year warranty, give them the 1-year warranty, and so on and so forth. So basically just go to Amazon. I'm going to go on to the next slide just for time wise, but have a look to see if you can spot all of those things. Social shares, ability to add to wish list, add to basket, one-click ordering, interactive image, scarcity, cross-sells, upsells, comparisons, customer reviews, risk reversal, take away the risk, the features, a discounted price visible, point of sale promotions, and free delivery. They build the delivery into the price of the product because people like, it sounds good, free, and look, they've put free in capitals. That's every single one of those elements is contributing to their success. So just start implementing a few of those and all of those will help you. So that's the model. Remember this model, take an image of it, number of visitors, average spend per visit, number of visits per year, then your job and your project in your digital business, but not just in your digital, in any business. If you're working with somebody else as a consultant, you know, this is ultimately what, if you're, look, we're about to go into Caroline in 15 minutes, and she will be talking about video. So how can I use video to increase the visitors? Can I just say, hi, I'm Ben Brophy. Thank you for visiting my website. I'm here to help and share leading insight industry leading tools to save you both time, money, and confusion. Something as simple as that. On your checkout page, could you have a video Caroline's going to share with you, just saying, hi, thank you very much. You're about to make a great decision. Just wanted to reassure you, 30-day money back guarantee. You've got nothing to risk. The risk's on us, but we're really looking forward to delivering or sharing or gifting, you know, whatever it is that they're about to get. That one video alone could increase your conversions by 10, 15, 20%. So I'm just moving into video because we're going to be talking about video, about increasing average spend per visit. Did you know that here's the lovely Blue Yeti microphone, thank you for purchasing it, but actually what most people also do is that they buy the little ring light to go with it as well, because it helps to get whatever it is. And just by doing sort of a little bump sell, cross sell, up sell, down sell, you don't want to go for the 3-year warranty, maybe you'd like the 1-year warranty. You could have all of those things, can make a difference. So your goal to help you to double your business over the next year, next 2 years, is just to focus on the number of visitors, the average spend per visit, and the number of visits per year, and then all of the tactics, because very often we go on courses or training and we learn loads of stuff, SEO, WordPress, YouTube, Instagram, video, but without remembering the bigger picture. Why am I doing it? Most of them are just tactics to help you ultimately with one of these 3 columns, or maybe a combination of them. If you remember, this is the big jigsaw, like the front of the jigsaw box. You're like, okay, Caroline's about to talk about video, so let me think about how I can use video, how I can create more professional videos to help with each of these areas. Okay, so we'll do this exercise in a moment. So in fact, just type in what's one idea, just type in what's one idea, please, that you could increase one of those columns, whether it's customers, average spend, or the frequency of purchase. Let's just have a quick share. So what's one idea, one tactic, one action that you could do? You could hold a challenge event. Great, Alan, thank you. Okay, come on, let's see some more interaction. Lovely. You could offer a guarantee video. Thank you, Tazos. Okay, you could have a wish list. You could try increasing your pricing, literally just try increasing your price by 10%. You could have more promotions, special offers. You could show things working together. Great. The case working with the computer, the case for the phone with the case. You could develop more products, or you could link with other people. I could link with Caroline. I could have my book 101 Ways to Use Video. Then I could link to Caroline saying, well, if you want to learn how to make video, here's my colleague Caroline, who delivers great training, which she's about to do so with you. You could run a competition like Rafflecopter and sell off this platform. You could do joint ventures with people who have related services. Absolutely. You could use affiliate products. Great. You could list all your products as they may not know. Great idea. Thank you, Tazos. You could add QR codes to any comms, communications and links. Brilliant. This is why it's great to mastermind. You could offer bundle discounts. We've got, oh, it's Caroline saying thumbs up. Great. We've got newsletters. Amazing. So look, and we're going to think about this more, and just over the next session, and just as it's rattling around in here, just think about different ideas. But if you look, just with what we've shared there, let me just share with you, do you think with just the ideas we've covered this morning that you could, if you implemented over the next month or 2 months, if you take what Caroline's about to share with you, use video even in 3 ways, to do a welcome video, to do like a Facebook post or a YouTube video, maybe just to show behind the scenes, or to introduce your team or your product, your service, and how it can benefit your target audiences, maybe different videos for your different target audiences. Do you think that over the next 2-3 months, with what Caroline's about to share with you, that you could increase your business by 5 or 10%? I'm sure that, or that metric by 5 or 10%, I'm sure that you could. So remember, as I rattle out of this, come out of here, remember, use an action sheet similar to this. Keep it simple. We don't need to overcomplicate things. The first thing we shared with you was do more of the stuff that's working in whichever area, maybe holistically in your overall life, maybe just in your business. Do more of the stuff that's working. do less of the stuff that's not working and try something different. So that was powerful business model, life model number one. Model number two, for increasing your business, optimization: increase customers, increase the average spend, increase the frequency, pull your business know-how and acumen, your training, past, present, and future into these three columns, and then just start actioning it, and you will see a transformation in your business. So I'm short on time, I apologize. So I'm just going to share with you, I'm not here to pitch at all, I'm just here in service. But if you would like to access hundreds more tactics, then please do so. There's the link at the bottom of the screen. That is a new training that I've put online, and that's literally got hours of content drilling down into the different tactics. Okay, so let me just share with you one more thing. What if, even if we know that email open rates, video open rates are going down, okay, in particular emails, okay, let's just take emails for an example, or a blog post. What if using this free tool, so let's just jump across, somebody type in, so what did we have? Just bear with me, let me find the link. Okay, so it's called title-generator.com. Come in here, put in your keyword. So let's just say it was digital marketing was your keyword. It could be yoga, it could be video, it could be whatever. So now click return. Free tool. This is free. So this one tool alone could make a difference to your open rate. Once people have opened your email or your blog post or your content, you've now got more eyes in front of you, okay? More people engaging with you to see what it is that you're sharing with them. So look, this has in no time at all come back with over 700 titles based upon highly converting titles. Now, a lot of them won't make sense because what it does, it auto populates your keyword. How to start digital marketing with less than £100. At last, the secret to digital marketing is revealed. Look, we're just in the top 5 here. 3 tips about digital marketing you can't afford to miss. The single most important thing you need to know about digital marketing, what everyone must know about digital marketing. Now, they've got hundreds of these, and that's a free tool. So that one tool alone could be one that helps you get more open rates, more people on your blog post, more people on your videos. There we go. That's just one tool. So another thing, and what I'm going to do, if you want the that training, it's fine if you don't. I'm not here to pitch this. I'm here in service, but I am creating a live online Google Sheet, which is going to be evolving over the next year, 18 months, 2 years, which you'll have access to, which you can also contribute, because masterminding is powerful. And that is basically just dozens upon dozens of ideas for increasing customers, spend, and the frequency of purchase. So do you know what? Of course, it was never going to be 197, because I've just told you you're going to put a price up. It is actually more than that normally, but even if I was doing it for Simon, but just because it's not a pitch and because I've been with the Internet Business School for so long, and I want to make sure that if you want it, that's not my body. I wish it was. I'm definitely not toned like that. But if you would like that training, which has got hours of content, you can have it for £47, and it's just go across to bit.ly/Sat School Optimization, and at the bottom just Sat School 150 off is your code, and you will get access to all of that ongoing. And that's it. So just I'm going to be two more minutes, and then we're going to intro, just to show you under the bonnet. This is what it looks like. Once you're in, you get instant access. You can use on your phone, you can use on your any device, and you can see you've got action worksheets, further training. I'll get Caroline's training in there, recommended resources, okay, any downloads. And let's just go, for example, strategy 1, how to increase customers. You click on it just to show you under the bonnet. This is, and just to let you know, so I'm using Kajabi. So even if you're not interested in this, I'm sharing with you. If you want something that looks like this is Kajabi. And there you can see at the top, just that first video alone is 1 hour and 7 minutes just on tactics to increase customers. So let's just jump in at 34 minutes. And
there are other tools as well.
And there I am talking through dozens of tactics. There's a download on the right hand side, and you can just go through this in whichever order you want. So that's what it looks like underneath. Yeah. So who would like me to send it? In fact, if you would like me to send you the slides, just type in yes if you'd like me to send you these slides. Okay, fantastic. I will do. So whilst Caroline's on, I will get these sent out to you. What I'd like to do, just whilst I'm handing over to Caroline, and we're going to take one final share, what I'd like you to do for 5 minutes, please. There's the take a photo of that. I'm going to leave that offer up for a day, okay? So if you want that for £47, the question with anything, so let me just share with you, this is what Simon does. And Caroline, I don't know if you do this, but for all of us, so here's a tip that Simon does. And I just, by sitting in a room with him, I see that he does. And he tells people, look, this is what I'm doing. He says, as a business owner, if you are thinking about something for your business, it's a business decision. So it's like simple question. Simon's like this all the time. What's the return on investment? If I spend £47 on this training, or whether it's £1,000, £5,000, what's the potential return on investment? So that's the question you need to ask yourself in general, not just with this. Am I going to get more than £47? Just that one tool, the titles, could give you £47 back just by getting more people opening your emails and watching your content. And there's hundreds of tools in there. But that's the question. So when you're framing things, ask people, does it make business sense? Okay, what's the potential return on investment? So that's what Simon does, and he tells people he's doing it. I'm telling you now, if you want that, please, there's the information. No pressure at all. We're here in service. I can't give you my shirt off the back, but that's as close as I can do. But what I'd like you to do is just think about maybe 3 tactics for each of those. In fact, type them in, please, because we are masterminding. So please type in, whilst I'm handing over to Caroline, and I'm going to do an introduction to Caroline, please just type in, let's get the cognitive juices flowing. What are 3 ways to increase customers, 3 ways to increase the spend, and 3 ways to increase the frequency? I'm going to leave that on the screen, and we're going to hand over to Caroline, and I'll do a quick introduction. So just, oh, hi, Caroline, you there?
Hello, thanks, Ben. Hi, how are you?
Great to see you again. Looking forward to your session.
I was there scribbling notes away.
Well, great. Well, I tell you what, let's we'll have a private chat afterwards, because I haven't spoke to you for ages. But let me, in case you don't know who Caroline is. Okay, so I'll actually, because I know what I want to say. Okay, but look, so we've teamed up with this lovely lady, much more glamorous than myself, international videographer and social media specialist, Caroline Scott. And this is an exclusive Saturday morning session. So we want to reward you for being here, giving up of your time, which actually just give yourself a little metaphorical pat on the back. Most people aren't investing in their training, and there's so many other things you could be doing, but you're here right now, and we appreciate that. So Caroline has got a wealth of experience working with business executives, marketers, social media editors all over the world. She's helped train many experts, leaders, executives, and their staff in smartphone video production. And in a moment, she's going to tell you trade secrets of video production that have previously only been shared with the most experienced TV producers and filmmakers. So we're in for a treat. So whether it's that you want to improve your social media output, whether you want to start a YouTube channel, create and sell a video course, or even start an exciting money-making video business, as I know some of you do, this session is for you. So Caroline's about to show you what's key to engaging with your clients, turning leads into paying customers, how you can join the thousands of entrepreneurs making money with video, whether you're making it for yourselves or others, the art of actually shooting and editing on your smartphone. So actually giving you practical skills that you can get started with right away, because this is always important. I've just been doing some other training the last 2 days. Remember this, never move away from the sight of a goal without taking action. So she's going to share with you practical stuff that you can apply today, tomorrow, immediately, and the art of shooting and editing video on your smartphones. So practical skills that you can get started. So thank you for the previous session. I'll send you the slides at the end of Caroline's session, and let's hand over to you, Caroline. Really looking forward to this, and thank you for being here this morning.
Thanks, Ben. And hi, guys. It's really, really great to meet you all virtually. I know that we'd rather be doing this in person, but it's fantastic to join you all this morning. And as I just want to echo what Ben's saying, well done for all being here, because, you know, it's a Saturday morning, like it's beautiful outside. I'm looking, the sun is shining, but you guys are here. And we're going to learn lots of tips and tools and skills that you guys can put into action straight away, because video is something that all of us need to know at some point in our business. And I'm just going to share my screen here. Hi, Alex. Nice to see you guys. Now, do let me know if you can't see my screen, but hopefully you should be able to see it now. So as Ben mentioned there, today we're going to be talking about shooting video, and I specialize in smartphone videography. That means shooting and editing video with our smartphones. Now, can you just write in the chat for me if you own a smartphone, please? Just write in the chat, yes, no, if you own a smartphone. Because this little tool that you have in your pocket is an absolute entry into the video production market. So anybody that owns this tool can make videos every single day for a variety of different purposes. And so I'm going to show you how we do that in this session. I'm going to be giving you the apps and tools you need to use. I'm going to be giving you some tactics of how you can get started and some information about equipment that you can also get as well to improve your videos. So there's lots to take away from today. If you do have any questions, please just write in the Q&A box or write in the chat as well, and I'll be able to answer them as we go through. So just a little quick introduction of myself, just to follow on from what Ben was saying. I am a smartphone videographer, I'm a social media specialist, and my main role is to teach TV producers, journalists, content creators to produce professional video using smartphone technology. My clients have been journalists at the BBC, TV producers at RTE, content creators at Sky News, YouTubers, small business owners, everything from hairdressers and nail salons to big companies such as banks and bigger organizations. So teaching them how they can build their brand online, how they can engage with customers through this visual medium. And I would say that my main speciality is very much in the creative aspect of these types of things. So whatever company that you're coming from today, whatever brand you're trying to build, whether you're trying to, create newsletters and connect with the audience through newsletters, or whether you are trying to sell a product or service, video can help you. And that's what I'm going to try to inspire you guys to do today. I am also a freelance broadcast journalist. I'm a social media specialist. I've worked at different television production companies all around the world and journalism websites as well. So everything I'm telling you guys to do is what I do on a daily basis. It's how I create video, it's how I publish video, it's how I connect with audiences. So I'm practicing what I preach here, guys. So any questions you have, I will be able to answer them. So do let me know. Joy's asked, does Android or iPhone make a difference? No, it doesn't. And the apps we're going to be talking about today go across all the different operating systems. So whether you have a Google phone, whether you have an iPhone, an Android, whatever you have at home, you can get started with this. So video in itself, you guys are here today, you understand why video is so important to our businesses, whether that is to push ourselves out as a professional on our LinkedIn or Twitter or Facebook profiles, or whether we're doing that to tell our audiences something, to engage with them in a visual mean, whether we want to build our social media profiles. It's so important that we all start embracing video. Now, video in itself is one of those things that a lot of people shy away from because they know they can hide behind their computers and type and write beautiful long articles and blog posts, and that's absolutely fine. But video shouldn't be something that we should shy away from because there's so much out there that we can get started with, whether you've never ever shot a video before in your life, you've never edited a video, or whether you're used to creating beautiful video for films and documentaries, but you're a bit more scared of social media and the online world. So there's lots of different areas that we can all jump into. So I would like you guys to write in the chat, for those of you that do fall into that category, and I appreciate it's probably not everybody, but why do you guys feel a bit nervous about making video? What's stopping you? What are the challenges that you guys are facing at the moment of making video? Just write in the chat for me, because we're here to kind of counter those challenges today. So any problems that you guys are having, it could be procrastinating about the script, not knowing what to say, having the time, issues with that, can't turn videos on, getting started with the cameras, confidence, time difficult. Yeah, I think a lot of people are worried, because it's going to take up so much time. I've got a 9-to-5 job. How am I going to fit in this video work? Procrastination, Marcus, that's a big one. So basically, you've all mentioned those issues there. We've said time, Janet getting started, exactly. So things like money and getting the equipment, because I don't have the skill in capital letters. Don't worry, because we're going to sort that. We're going to sort this out. Manpower and skills. So these are all issues that all of us face, and all of us have been facing this we know wherever we are in the globe, no matter what profession we come from, no matter if we are a key expert in one area, all of us do find themselves, a little bit wary to try new things. But what I'm here to do today is tell you that you don't have to think about video as this scary medium that is only reserved for professionals, okay? This is actually an area that now we all have access to. So it's not just for those people that have been studying videography, that went to film school, that know how to use these fancy big broadcast cameras. It's not even just for the semi-professionals and enthusiasts. So the millennials or the Gen Zs that have got their DSLR camera all set up, they're used to making video, they look like whiz kids on the computer. It's not just for them anymore, it's for all of us. And as I mentioned, we've all been carrying around what it takes to make video, which is a smartphone. Now, our smartphones in themselves, this is what we call the best kept secret in video production. Now, this is not just for social media or for online. This is for television, for cinema, for feature films, documentaries. It could be for promotional videos for your business, for online courses. With this little device that I'm holding in my hand, which is so light, it's not going to give me backache. It's not going to need recharging, bringing replaceable batteries all the time and all these other issues I get with the big cameras. With this little device, I can shoot 4K video. That's high definition. That's better quality than the video that we put out on broadcast television nowadays. So if you have a smartphone at home, that essentially, as I mentioned, means you own a production studio. Okay, so what I would like you to do for me is just for the next hour to clear your mind of any of these challenges or preconceived ideas that you might have surrounding your own ability to create video. And just think for me, okay, what if I could do that? What does it mean if I could do that? Because if somebody else can do it on YouTube, so can I. Somebody else can build their brand with video, so can I. All they know is a few different skills and tools, which we're going to cover today, and you guys will be able to get there. Okay, so we can make TV programs, news bulletins, films, documentaries. We can make online videos for our websites. So maybe we want to make promo videos. We can also make videos for social media, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, IGTV, TikTok, Snapchat. Can't do that on a DSLR camera unless you have to take it off the SIM card, put it into your computer, download everything, compress it, sync the audio. Oh my goodness, so many steps. But what I'm here to do today is to take you through a short workflow that you can use on a daily basis. We can also make radio bulletins and podcasts. So if you want to create a podcast with your mobile phone, with the equipment that you have, you can also do that. And of course, you can take photographs, memes, and GIFs. So this little tool is so little and versatile that we can do so much with it. It's light, it's quick, it connects to the internet straight away. So there's a lot of ability for us. Now, what are some of the benefits, do you guys think? If you could write in the chat for me, what are the benefits, and I've mentioned some of them just there, of using our smartphone over a huge broadcast camera or an expensive DSLR camera? What are the benefits of using this? It's small, yeah, exactly. It's very small, it's portable. It's super easy, exactly. One says it's the cost, yeah, a fraction of the price of big cameras. It's small, it's always there when you need it. Exactly, it's always at hand. And I think for you guys who are running businesses or who are building their brand or who are trying to content video on a daily basis, and you need to capture it for your Instagram profile or for your Facebook, or even just behind the scenes content, those of you that follow Gary Vaynerchuk, he says document, don't create, but just document your content. It's there and it's ready for when we need it. So you're right, you now can be a one-man band. You do not need any more guys to go out and hire somebody to shoot a video for you. A large production crew, somebody to shoot, somebody to run the sound engineering, somebody to edit, somebody to produce it. You do not need that anymore. You can do it on your phone. The equipment is also cheaper and lighter. A lot of you mentioned that. It's a fraction of the cost of a large camera, and it can fit in your pocket. The workflow is fast as well. So I trained on these big, heavy broadcast cameras you see at the top right there. I went to journalism school. I went to the Falkland Islands. I set up a television station there. We were using huge cameras. And as technology has advanced, now we're all moving on to these little tiny things we can fit in the back of our jean pocket. Okay, so whether we are a TV producer, a business owner, entrepreneur, if you're just using, video to connect with people on LinkedIn, it's there, it's ready. Whenever you've got that imagination, you can bring it out. You can shoot on the phone, you can edit on the phone, and you can publish from your phone, which is key. And of course, you can produce a lot of content for multiple different platforms. So as I mentioned earlier, our phones can connect to the internet. So we can go live on our social media platforms. We can do broadcasts on various different audiences. We can post onto Instagram stories, to Facebook, to YouTube, all in one go. And we can also upload content to Dropbox, to our cloud services, to send to our colleagues or our business partners who might be downloading that and using that elsewhere as well. And most importantly, it's the freedom. I've worked on a lot of news reports where I've had to be out on a shoot. I was filming, a news story, like say a protest in the street, and I'd have to run back to the newsroom. I'd have to take out the memory card. I'd have to unload all of the footage. Sometimes that would take about half an hour. I would have to compress it to make it small enough to go into my desktop editing software. I'd have to sync my audio up. I'd have to chop it up and edit it. And by that point, somebody else has already reported it on social media. Social media is so fast nowadays. We need to get the content out before anybody else does. So who's been using this technology? I'm just going to have a little bit of inspiration for you guys at first, because you might be thinking, well, smartphones, it's not as professional. It's not as, as snazzy as using a big camera. Well, actually, this is the new professional tool. So you guys need to get and ride on the wave of this tool so that as these apps and more equipment starts coming out, you're there and you're ready to use it. As I say, I used bigger cameras for years and years and years. Soon as I used a smartphone, it was like the clouds lifted above me, all the weight came off my shoulders, and now I get the story out faster and quicker than I've ever done before, beating competitors. And filmmakers have been quick to do this as well. You can see there's some examples there on the right-hand side. Now, that little video that played, that's from Unsane. That's actually on YouTube. You can go and watch that. It was shot on a mobile phone. But there's been so many different films shot with a phone because it's small, it's versatile. I can put it into tight spaces. I can run with it. I can throw it up in the air. I can put this underwater. Okay, so there's so many abilities to do with it. And of course on YouTube. Now, those of you that want to build your business on YouTube and connect with audiences on that platform, there's lots of different inspiration there. One of them is called Janelle Eliana. And she's a YouTuber, she lives in a van, and with just 2 videos, she became one of the fastest growing accounts in history and now has 2.48 million subscribers. She uses an iPhone and an app called LumaFusion that we'll be talking about today. David asks, what other tools do you need to do the audio syncing and editing? We'll be going through those, David, today. So the tools that you need to download on your phone, we'll be going through those. And companies have been using smartphones as well. So you can see this is Bentley. Now, this video was actually shot years and years ago. It was edited on an iPad in the back of the car, and it was shot on what I believe is an iPhone 4S. So you do not need to go out and buy the latest iPhone, the latest Android device. No, you don't need that. The apps I'm going to be talking you through today do not need the latest devices. You just need to have a mobile device with you, whether that's an iPad, an iPhone, an Android device, a Google Play phone, whatever that is. And also, as I mentioned, broadcasters. So broadcasters going out and shooting video packages for the 10 o'clock news, let's say. We've had so many journalists and news producers actually submit video packages that were shot on a phone to their editors, and editors not knowing that it was shot on a phone because it's so good. And I think that's what's stopping this technology from being widespread in terms of people being like, yeah, you just shoot everything on a phone now, because it's so good that you can't tell the difference between that and a huge broadcast camera, right? So because it's so good, it just blends in with the rest of the stuff, which is fantastic because your audience are never going to know. So why make video? I think Ben spoke a little bit about this as well. Why would you guys make a video? Can you write in the chat for me some ideas as to why you would want to make a video for your company, your organization, or for your brand? Can you think of some ideas of why you would want to make video? to show examples of your work, to show your expertise, connecting with clients. I like that one. Building trust, promotion of your brand. Yep, adverts, it's more engaging. Exactly, gaining customer interest. We're all so engaged with video, aren't we? I'm sure all of you have already watched a video today before this session without even realizing it. Show off your skill, increase perceived value of products, build personality, trust, be visible, promote your brand, inspire, motivate, or be informative, transparency. I love this, guys. It's perfect. Everything that you want to do with your audience, you can do through video in terms of connecting with them in a variety of different ways. So I've put a few examples here, and you've said most of these, which is brilliant. So promoting your company, advertising your products or services, demonstrating your experience, creating a video course, for example, producing and selling to other people. Exactly. Know, like, and trust you. And we talk about this a lot at Internet Business School, getting your audience to know, like, and trust you. Now, you don't necessarily need to be on camera. If you're a bit nervous and shy of being on camera, you don't have to be that person in front of the camera. You can run testimonials with your audience. You can create little news packages about, let's say, client case studies, that how they've used your product or services. Maybe you want to just create little videos that have just text on screen and just pictures and images, just like montages. It doesn't have to be super, super fancy video, but it can be if you want to. And of course, there's so many different types of video. So any specific subject that you want to make a video about can be approached in a variety of ways. So, and this is what we use, when I'm working with news organizations, businesses, national corporations, we look at what they're aiming to do. So let's say they're aiming to build their brand through, let's say they have a range of clients and they want to talk to all of those clients on video about the benefits that they've done with their company or what their services have done for those clients. Rather than just doing the same video again and again and again, we'll just say, right, well, we know we can shoot and edit with our phone. We know we can do pieces to camera. So how can we structure these in fun ways? Shall we do a Q&A about the product or service? Maybe we could do a live stream with one of your customers, maybe at an event. You can have a live stream, ask them questions about it, take audience questions from the people watching at home. Maybe we can create user-generated content. So if you guys are selling a product, let's say you've written an amazing book, it's on Amazon at the moment, and you want to know what your audience think about it or how they're putting that into practice. Let's say you're teaching them how to speak German. You might want them all, ask your audience, send us a video of what you've learned using this product, and you can just montage that all together and create that video as opposed to you having to be on camera. So deep dive history into your topic or your expertise, an information summary, listicles, which is 5 ways to, 7 ways why. You see BuzzFeed doing this all the time. 9 reasons you're a 90s child. 5 reasons you need to investigate, this story. 2 ways that my product can help you, that kind of thing. Taking audiences behind the scenes of your organization or your brand is fantastic. So if you're building yourself up as an expert in a specific area, maybe you want to build your personal brand by showing people, as I say, Gary Vaynerchuk, documenting, not creating. Okay, guys, today I'm doing X, Y, and Z. I cannot wait to show you guys what I'm working on tomorrow, talking to the camera. Or you might want to show behind the scenes of your office, what's going on, what are the processes being put into practice, creating that next event that you're working on. So there's so many different types of video you can make and so many ways that you can angle your videos. So if you're super confident and you want to create a YouTube account where you are on camera and you are speaking directly to your audience and you're the main presenter, that's fantastic. Or if you want to make an online video course where you're not on camera, but you just create video through a variety of slides, pictures, and videos, that's absolutely fine as well. Or you might be choosing to do a video every Sunday on your LinkedIn, showing your expertise in your area. So maybe run it as a Q&A, for example. So it's just one of these areas where you could just sit there for hours and just brainstorm ideas. So whether you work for a company that's selling, a quite, I guess, in a generic industry, like a bigger industry, like maybe the fitness industry, and you need a different niche, or you're working for a company that's so niche, you don't think anyone's going to be interested in it. think again, because whether you work for this huge company or this huge niche, or you work for this really, really small area. So for example, you are, let's say, selling country music calendars. I'm just thinking of a random topic. There are people that are going to be interested in both. And as long as you craft your videos for your audience and make sure that you're engaging them in fun and exciting ways, you can really connect with them, which is a really exciting space to be in. So I'm going to play you a video now about shooting with a smartphone. Now, this video is actually recorded on an iPhone. So if you do have an Android device, it might look slightly different in your camera. But I wanted to start off by showing you some ideas and tools that you can get started with when you're shooting video, okay? Because all of our phones have what we call a native camera within them. So you'll notice that all of your phones, if you can see this, I've got 3 cameras on mine, but you might just have one. You might have yours in the middle there or on the side, whatever yours looks like on the back. This is called your native camera. So that's the camera that is with the smartphone itself. So when you go to the camera app, that's your native camera. Now, in the native camera, which is the one we all tend to use, and there's other ways that we can approach this, which we'll move on to. But in the native camera, you can either use automatic mode or you can use manual mode. But if we want to take our videography to the next level, we need to start using manual mode, which means setting the focus in our videos, setting the focal point. So what's going to be blurry, what's going to be in focus, and also setting the exposure. So how much light is in the video. So I'm going to play you a little video now, which is like a step-by-step of how you do this. And don't feel like you have to do it at the same time, because in the next slide, I'm going to show you a step-by-step, which you can take a screenshot of. Ray, what's a listicle video? So it's like, as I mentioned, BuzzFeed will say 5 ways to, 4 ways to. So 3 ways you need to know about X, Y, and Z. All it is a video that splits up the video into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 reasons why, 3 ways to do this, that kind of thing. So it basically just makes it easier for your audience to understand some points. Great, so let's kick off shooting with a smartphone. So the first thing I want you to take away from today in terms of practical skills is how to set the manual mode on your smartphone camera. So let me know if you can't hear the audio, but this should play out all right.
Open up your phone camera and set the mode to video. This demo is on an iPhone, so if you are an Android user, the principles still apply to you, but depending on the make and model of your device, the actions here may differ. So don't panic if your camera doesn't look or behave exactly like this. Step number 1 is to set a focal point for your video. If you have a mug or object in front of you, you can focus on that to practice this technique. In this scenario here, I would like to focus on the foreground, on this flower. Therefore, I'm going to tap it once with my finger, ensuring to hold the smartphone really still as I do so. Tapping on the screen tells my camera what's important in the shot and what I want the camera to focus on. You can see that if I tap the background of the shot now, it'll take the foreground out of focus and focus on the objects further away. And now vice versa. So as you can see, tapping on the screen will set the focus. This is demonstrated by a small yellow square appearing where I tap the screen, with a sunlight symbol next to it. The next step is to lock this focus, which will ensure the camera doesn't track any other object or autofocus if a new subject or object entered the scene. To do this, simply place and hold your finger on the object in focus for approximately 1 to 2 seconds until a larger yellow square pops up on screen around your finger and the words AE/AF lock appear. This stands for auto exposure and autofocus, which we have now locked into place. Now, no matter what happens in your shot, the focus will remain the same. At this point, your exposure will automatically be locked as well, but you can still adjust the brightness of your shot with your index finger, swiping up and down the screen. Up for lighter, down for darker. You'll see the small symbol will move here as the brightness of your shot changes, all while the focus remains safely locked.
Okay, so why is it important to use this manual mode when we're shooting? Well, have you guys ever gone to shoot a video and it does this like pulsating effect on the video camera? So it doesn't know what to focus on. it doesn't know what light to have in, or maybe a cloud comes, you know, covers the sky above you. The sun completely changes light, and all of a sudden your video is really dark or really light, and it kind of ruins your shot. But using manual mode in your smartphone gives you that, thank you, control. It gives you that control of it. Okay, Stella, don't worry, because I have a slide here that has like a step-by-step version of how you're going to do this. So please take a picture of this screen if you'd like to do this later, or do this as we're talking through this session. So you can practice this with your dog or a mug, or, you know, anything object that you have in front of you. What you're going to do is you're going to open up your phone camera, and anything that you want to focus on, which is the most important part of your video. So it could be a person. So if you're interviewing somebody, they're in front of your camera, there might be a person there. You're going to talk to them, and you're going to tap on their face, you're going to tap and hold, and you're going to lock, and you're going to go through these points. Now, once you've gone through these points about twice, you will remember it. It will be etched in your brain, okay? Because you don't want that scenario where you have got, you know, 3 people in front of you. They've just done a session with you. Let's say your business is teaching the piano, and you've got 3 of your students in front of you, and you say, oh, will you just give me a few lines just for my LinkedIn? I just want to do a little advert. And you've got your camera up and you're filming them, and all of a sudden it starts focusing on the dog that's just run around in the background, or somebody opens the door and it's switched the focus. So it's not always 100% necessary. Yes, Stella, you'll be able to get a recording of this, so we'll be able to give you the slides. So it's not always necessary to essentially set and lock the focus every single time we shoot, but it's important to know when and where we would use it. So when our object is static and there's going to be moving objects behind us. If I was going to shoot a video with you guys and you stood on a busy London road and there was big double-decker buses coming out in and out of the background, that's when I would make sure that I set and focus that video. And the same with the exposure. When we have the exposure on our mobile phone, and you guys, I'm sure you guys have all tried to record a music concert and it's been really, really overexposed. You know, where all of the blacks in the video just look grey because the phone goes, oh, well, obviously they want everything to be in shot, so I'm just going to make everything really bright and it just looks naff. Or you're filming a fireworks display and the sky doesn't look black, it just looks grey, because what the phone is doing is trying to bring so much light into it. So in that scenario where you're filming in a darker place, you would want to tap on the screen and focus on the fireworks or focus on the musician on stage and bring the exposure down, which will mean that the phone camera the exposure means light, right? Like sun, like the lightness coming to my camera. So bringing that exposure down, what that's going to do is it's going to prevent the camera just making all the blacks into this lighter color, which looks really naff. So bringing that exposure down or bringing that exposure up to accommodate for the scene in front of us is so, so important. But just now, I just want to do, it's going to take about a minute. I just want to do a little exercise with you. And I know I can't see you guys at home. I wish I could. But if you do have your phone in front of you, or you have an object that's a similar size to a phone, I'd just like to practice with you of how we hold our mobile phones when we're shooting. Okay, now when we hold our mobile phones, it's really tempting to film and do this, isn't it? Film, bit unstable. But actually, when we're filming with our mobile phone, we need to remember, okay, it is light, it is able to fit in my pocket, so I need to give it a little bit more stability. Okay, so that means that rather than get this shaky shot that we're used to, and we'll move on to tripods and things that you can use in a bit, but what I want you to do is practice holding your smartphone. And this is the way that I'm going to recommend to you guys that you hold your smartphone when you're filming. So hopefully you guys can see, because I've got a background on here, so hopefully it doesn't cut out. But when I'm holding my mobile phone, I will never hold my mobile phone like this. Okay, what do you think that's going to do to it? If I'm filming like this, if I'm filming a testimonial, or let's say I'm filming a video of someone doing something really fantastic, exactly, no stability, it's going to be wobbly, it's going to look like it was shot on a phone. Now sometimes you might want that run and gun, like shaky look. If you're filming a protest, you're filming something exciting, you might want it to look a bit shaky and like that. But most of the time what you're going to want is a really lovely stable shot. So if you don't have any equipment like a tripod or like a handheld grip, which I'll show you later, then you don't have to go out and buy that equipment. What you can do is you can create a really, really beautiful shot by just holding it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hold our phones with our index fingers at the top of the screen. Now this is the top left, so this is the left-hand side of my body, and I think it's mirrored for you guys. So I want you to always practice having your phone camera at the top left. So where the left-hand side of your body is, it's going to be that top left facing out. And we're going to put our index fingers on the top of our phone. We're going to put our thumbs on the bottom of our phone, and we're going to wrap those middle fingers down. Okay, so basically, can you see here, I've got 3 points of contact on my phone, 1 at the top, 2 behind, and 3 at the bottom there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to slightly, and when I say slightly, I mean slightly, squeeze my fingers into the phone. So can you feel that kind of tension, right? Those of you that will doing at home, those of you that aren't, just jot this down so you remember it later. So having that tension on the phone there, that's going to stop any wobble. So as I'm moving with the phone, I can control that a lot better than I would do if I was like this. So much better. Okay, just practice it today. Go and film something that's outside, go into your gardens, go for a walk, go and have a play around with your mobile phone and just see the difference between holding it, because we need to get that stability when we're filming, especially if you want to be filming things that have got maybe a higher production value in terms of being much more smoother and highly produced. Now, another thing when we're holding a mobile phone is to move with the phone camera itself. So there's no good filming like this, left and right. Even if I was holding it correctly, left and right, if someone's moving, oh, I'm filming a sports car moving across, or I'm filming someone running, you know, that's no good, because what's happening is my phone is a separate entity from my body. But what we want to be thinking about is our whole body is now inclusive of this device. So as we move, you see my body's going to move with the device here. My body's going to move with the phone. If my phone is going to go up high, I'm going up high. If my phone's going down low, I'm going down low. Okay, so keeping with the device the whole time will firstly enable you to have smooth, gorgeous shots. And secondly, it will enable you to see what you're filming. Now, because this is a reflective screen, sometimes when we're shooting outside in the sunshine, we can't see as well what we're filming. So it's really, really important we stay with our mobile phone. Any questions about that? Just write in the chat. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again with you guys. So most of this is all about practice and just about getting used to it. So hopefully you guys can see my screen now. Now, I know that somebody asked in the chat, let me just get on my chat box again so I can see you guys. About changing light conditions. So, okay, what do you do with highly variable light conditions such as slide presentations on stage? So if you are filming something where the focal point will change or the light changes, and that's a really cool segue into this app that I'm going to talk to you about now. Now this app is called Filmic Pro. Now Filmic Pro is an advanced camera app which is available to download for everybody to use, but all the filmmakers and documentary makers, TV producers that shoot and edit on a phone do tend to use Filmic Pro. I think it's about £20 last time I checked. It's a one-off payment, but it essentially tries to turn your phone camera into a DSLR. It's available on iOS and Android. I'm nothing to do with Filmic Pro, but it's a fantastic app which will give you more control, focus, exposure, your white balance, which is the colors in the color spectrum that you're seeing, the frame rate. So whether you are shooting for social media, which is 30 frames per second generally, or television, which is 25 frames per second here in the UK, you can attach microphones here and you can control the audio coming into the device. Thanks very much, Ben. So £14.99 Filmic Pro. And basically you can control that, you know, as a whole. So you are making sure that you are getting the best video that you can shoot. Now, you don't have to use Filmic Pro at all to shoot HD video. Now, Tamo said, do you use HD or 4K at the iPhone settings? Okay, now when you are shooting with a phone, if you go into your settings menu, those of you on iOS, just go into this camera, the camera settings. Within your settings cog, go to camera, and you'll be able to see the resolution you're shooting there. Those of you on Android, it should be in your phone camera, but there's so many different Android devices, it might look slightly different on different models. However, this is really important to understand, guys. If you are shooting in a higher resolution, so what does resolution mean? This is about the pixels on the screen, right? So when you're watching TV and you've got a really, really pixelated video, that's basically because the resolution is lower. It's a compressed video. If you are shooting in high definition, so which we call 720p, 1080p, 4K, which you'll recognize when you go to buy a television, it will say these kind of letters and words. Basically, this is about the amount of color dots on the X and Y axes of your video. Okay, so if you are shooting for social media, television, cinema, you're probably going to want to shoot in 1080p or above. I would definitely recommend you guys setting your phone cameras, and they probably will automatically be set to this as 1080p. If you've got an older device, 720p is also great. That's HD, but it's not as, the quality is not as great as 1080p. If you shoot in something like 4K, you might think, well, I'm just going to shoot in the best quality my phone can shoot in. For example, this phone, which is an iPhone 11 Pro Max, this can shoot in 4K definition, but 4K, think about the amount of information every single video has in it. So that video file is going to be bigger. So you don't want to take up too much space on your device if you don't have that much memory. Philip, I think it'll be useful to emphasize that your phone should be horizontal rather than vertical. Well, Philip, so there's lots of, I guess, pros and cons to which way we hold our mobile phones. And I would always recommend, when we're shooting, like Philip said, to shoot horizontal. Now, why would I say that? Because if I'm shooting a video that's horizontal, I can repurpose this for more platforms. So if you guys don't have that much time, you might want to shoot horizontal for your YouTube channel, and then you might want to use that horizontal video and repurpose it through some of the editing apps we're going to talk about for a vertical video platform like Instagram Stories or TikTok, for example. However, if you're going to be shooting vertically, now this is obviously great if your content's just going to go on a vertical video platform. So as I say, Instagram Stories, Facebook Stories, TikTok, you don't want horizontal video on that, but it's much harder to repurpose. So if you have a lot of time, you can shoot both ways. If you don't have that much time, shoot horizontally. Okay, now we're going to talk about how we edit video on our smartphone. So we just mentioned there, use your native camera, use the manual camera controls, set the focus, set the exposure, or purchase Filmic Pro, where you can learn how to set pull focuses to shoot with a variety of different changing exposures to change the white balance. So Filmic Pro is a little bit more advanced. So if you're just very new to this, just go to the native camera for now. If you are a bit more advanced or you have a background in video, go straight to Filmic Pro. Okay. Can you make this shoot adjustment in your settings, David? I'm guessing you mean there as in like the settings for the camera resolution. Is that what you mean, David? Basically, yeah, you just go to your iPhone settings, go to camera, and then you can get there straight away. Brilliant. Yeah. So just go to your settings there's like a camera icon in your settings if you have an iPhone. If you don't have an iPhone, it'll be on your Android camera. And then you can just change it there. Now, I would recommend you shoot in 30 frames per second. Now, when I say frames per second, don't get confused with video terminology. I'm not a video geek either. Like, it's just about knowing like little terminologies that you just have to just put into practice before you shoot the video. So most of your smartphones will automatically be shooting in 30 frames per second. So when you do go to that camera mode within your settings on the camera, you'll see it says 1080p at 30 frames per second, or it might say 720p at 25 frames per second. When I say frames per second, I mean the amount of individual photos that your phone takes to make up a second of video. Because you remember those picture books that you used to scroll through as a kid and like the stick man moves? That's essentially what video is, isn't it? It's lots of different individual photos that make up a video. So the more frames per second we take, the more information we've got there, but also the better it's going to look in slow motion. So if I was going to shoot, let's say, a horse jumping over a fence, I would shoot it in a higher frames per second rate, because then when I slow it down, it's going to look beautiful and smooth and not like, do you see what I mean? So shoot in 1080p, 30 frames per second. The majority of what you guys will be doing, if you're not shooting for cinema or television, you're just wanting for online, beautiful social media content, that's the right adjustments to go. Anwar's put increasing video upload speeds to YouTube or wherever the video is being shared. So if I'm shooting for, for YouTube or, for another platform, the lower the compression and the lower the size of your video, the quicker that's going to upload to YouTube. Now, I would always recommend uploading HD video, never upload ST video. You want your audience to see your quality in the best quality possible. And if you can shoot in HD, I would always recommend it. So, so do that. Lucy, I will go through some of the desktop editing softwares at the end. Okay, so let's talk about editing. Okay, so when we're editing with a smartphone, we want to be thinking about the different apps we can use. Okay, now there are two different types of video editing apps that you guys have got to take note of and understand. Now, we've got a category of social media editing apps, and we've also got a category of multi-track editors, and it's really, really important that you understand the difference. So social media editing apps are apps that are montages with video flying in, with text coming in the other way, with transitions, with colors. You will see this type of video on, say, like TikTok or, things with nice music and beautiful montages of clips and videos together. So there's so many different apps that you can do for this, that you can put there in a social media app, and you can create this quick, fast video that's really, really quick to do, really, really fun to watch, and that you can basically churn out on a daily basis. However, there's also another group of apps called the multi-track editors. Now, multi-track editors are the advanced apps which enable you to layer multiple pieces of video on top of each other. So maybe you've got your video, then you want to put a watermark on top, then you want to put some text on top, and you have a lot more control over your video. So those of you that want to make long form YouTube videos, or you want to make videos with yourself talking to camera, with your logo flying in, with your watermark at the top, with some music in the background, that would be in a multi-track editor. If you wanted to make a behind the scenes montage of lots of different photos and videos, you would use a social media editing app. Okay, so there's two different types, and I would recommend that you basically have one or two of each type on your mobile phone. Never listen to anyone that says you need to have 10 different apps, because if you have loads of different apps on your phone, it's basically being, jack of all trades, master of none. You won't get great at any of them. And it's always best, all of the best producers that I find and the best video creators are ones that actually have an app on their phone they know inside out. They use every single day. They know the settings. They know what looks great. And so I'm going to recommend my top apps for you guys today so that you guys can just get started with them. Now, they're all designed to be slightly intuitive. Some of them are a bit tricky to use. Some of them you need a step-by-step guide. Some of them you can just pick up and play with and see what it takes. So here are our best multi-track editing apps. So as I mentioned, multi-track editing apps is where you have a timeline at the bottom and you have your video piece. And remember, if you've never edited video before, you too can use multi-track editing apps. Don't think you need to go just to using social media apps. You can also create beautiful video on a timeline. So Power Director, KineMaster, LumaFusion and iMovie are the top 4 that you guys can get. Now, KineMaster and Power Director, these are available on Android, and iMovie and LumaFusion, these are just available on iOS devices. Now, so essentially, sorry, I'm just looking at the comments at the same time. I'll answer some of those questions at the end if you don't mind, so we don't go off topic too much. So I would definitely recommend that you don't go and download all of these, you pick one. So if you are new to video production, I would always recommend that you start with Power Director here. Now, Power Director is a fantastic app because The timeline is simplistic. You can drag and drop, you can add text, you can add transitions, you can make beautiful videos, but without all these techie clunky buttons everywhere. Okay, so Power Director is really great if you're very new to video editing. And it looks a little bit like this. So you have essentially a timeline at the bottom, so going from 0 seconds, so the start of time of your video, and it will move on and on as the video unfolds. So when we're working with timelines, we're talking about layering footage on top of each other. So as I mentioned there, you layer clips. So I have my video, let's say I have this video of this gorilla here, and then I might have some text on top, and then I might have another watermark there. And I would just put clips in the order I want them to appear. And I can add, transitions, I can add photos. I can really have a play around with how my video is going to look and feel, from the speed of your video clips to the exposure, to filters, to video effects. You can even create, with the apps that I've listed there, LumaFusion, Power Director, KineMaster, iMovie, you can create your own branding. So if you want to make sure every video you create has your logo on it, has your specific color scheme, you can do so within these apps. So Power Director is a great one to use. Power Director you can use on a Mac, and KineMaster, iMovie as well, you can use on a Mac as well. LumaFusion you can use on a Mac, but only on specific devices, the newer devices. So depending on what type of video you want to make, you might want to choose a multi-track editor, or you might want to choose a social media editor. So in a moment, I'm going to show you my top social media editor. And you guys can either use these independently, these two apps, or you can use them together. So you could create something really cool, like a cool video in your social media app, and you could bring it into Power Director in this example, and you can use it as part of a wider video. So Power Director is my go-to for beginners for getting started with social media content creation, and then you can move on to the others. But if you just really wanted to dip your toe in it today and you're a little bit nervous to get started, then you might want to start on a social media app. And the social media app of choice is called Quik. And Quik is made by GoPro. It's completely free, and it's designed, oh, sorry, it's not free. It's £9.99 for a year subscription. It used to be free. They've just added it. They've just changed some bits of it, but it is the best social media editing app that you can get on the market. It's fun. It's fast. I'm going to play you a little video now so you guys can get a little feel of what it's like. So this is Quik. So Quik is basically an app that you can just download onto your phone. It's, as I say, you just pay £10 for the month, and it looks a little bit like this when you're inside. And I've just done a little bit of a screen recording here so you can see what it will look like. So it opens up the videos and photos that's in your phone, and you essentially choose which ones you want to put into your video. So no editing skills required. So here I am going into Quik, and I've just opened up the app. I'm going to press plus, and I'm going to go and find some photos and videos on my phone that I like. So here it is. It was snowing here in Croydon. I'm in South London. So yeah, so I'll take some montage videos. So I like all of these videos, and I want to put them into,
I'm in the beautiful snowy Shirley Woods. Okay, because it's all about being creative. I'm in the beautiful snowy Shirley Woods. Okay, because it's all about being creative.
the beautiful snowy Shirley Wood.
I can add.
Okay, because it's all about being creative.
And you can add your own music as well. Oh, sorry, you couldn't hear me talking over it. I was saying all the music in it is completely royalty free. You can add your own music in there as well. So if you wanted to choose, you choose an animation style, you add your own music, and basically you just export your video and you can publish it on social media without worrying, you know, anyone's going to steal your video or like take your audio down or anything like that. Because I get a lot of different questions about, you know, how do I post a video with music, and you know, Facebook's not going to rip my audio off it. So using an app like this is a really great alternative as well. Yes, it's compatible with Android devices as well, and it will look something like this. So you can see it literally takes like 30 seconds. You go and choose everything and you put it in there. Yeah, as Ben said, it really is a game-changing app, because it basically means that you don't have to have any editing skill. You just whack it into the app and it does the work for you. Okay, those of you that want to develop your skills with video a little bit more, with your long form videos, to trim videos to make them look beautiful when you are producing them yourself, use Power Director, and you can mix and match. So for example, if I was going to do a piece to camera about an event that the Internet Business School ran on the weekend, I might sit here and talk to camera and say, guys, it was a fantastic event, you should have been there, here are some of the highlights. Then I could go into Quick, I could put all of these highlight videos into Quick, I could export it into my camera roll and bring it into Power Director. So my whole video would be, hi guys, I'm Caroline, let me tell you about this event we ran. And then it would just play that video from Quick. So it can be really fun and easy to use. Now, I know some people earlier was asking about extra costs, and Power Director is free, Marcus. There is a subscription model on there, so you can upgrade to access extra features as well. Okay, so let's talk about external kit available for smartphone video producers. So if you are wanting to create video and you find yourself, you know, struggling a little bit with holding your phone still, or you think, okay, the audio is not great, because if you are shooting video, you will need a microphone to attach to your yourself or your interviewee. So there's lots of different kits we can get, and we can go through these. So the first type of kit we can think about is handheld stabilizers and tripods. So this is for stability. Now, like with everything on the market, there's expensive versions and there's cheap versions. So on the cheaper end of the scale, obviously I would recommend, for those of you getting started, lean your phone up against something in your house, use a bookshelf, use a music stand, you know, rest your phone up against a cup, for example. But for those of you that are looking to do this on a daily basis, or you really need to be thinking about, you know, can I get a little tripod for myself, maybe a handheld gimbal? So moving from left to right here, you can see there's a tripod on the left-hand side. Now, these tripods you can get pretty cheap on Amazon. You just need to make sure that they're very light so you can carry them around, and make sure you've got a handheld, you've got like a grip there that's going to grip your phone to just put that phone on top of your tripod. You can also get these handheld grips there. That one in the middle is from ShoulderPod, but there's so many different makes to go through. You can also use a monopod, which is at the top there, which is just a single, it's like one leg of a tripod, which you can use to kind of rest on the floor. You can also use handheld gimbals, which are motorized. So these move. So as you're running through a field or you're moving through a crowd of people, basically, if any of you have been on a boat, which has like a kitchen underneath, some of you will know sailing a lot better than me, but where you have like a kettle on a stove, what it will do is it will move with the waves. Now, this is the same thing. If you're filming, but I'm running, well, as I'm running and moving my body, the phone is going to be the opposite to myself. So you're going to get a really, really sturdy shot in your video. Or you can get these little, these are really cute at the bottom there. That's from Joby. And that's just a handheld, that's just a little desk tripod. So Joby's really cool. It's really, really nice. You can get loads of little cute things that you can wrap around lamp posts, or you can just put them on your desk ready to shoot a video when you need. So there's so much different alternative options out there, but I would recommend when you're starting, just either use the handheld for a while just to get comfortable, or, you know, rest things up against, you know, even on top of your laptop, use a list of a batch of books that you can just place your phone on top, so that you can have that stability without having to hold it. Because sometimes you might not want to do a piece to camera holding your phone out, right? You might actually want to rest it on a mantelpiece or something. Oh, Joanna's, how do I add logos and subscribe buttons? Okay, so if you are posting your content to YouTube, you can add these interactive features at the end of posting a video. So it will enable you to add those. Click here for subscribe. However, if you want to put those embedded in your video, you'll just use Power Director and you can just add a YouTube logo there. You can also add your own logo. It's basically just another layer of video, which will make sense when you start using the app. Okay, so, but I've put here at the bottom, ask yourself, do I need this piece of equipment? Okay, because I don't want you guys to go out and buy loads of equipment and be, you know, all the gear and no idea. The best thing you can do is to get started with the basics and then think, you know what I could do with a tripod, or you know what I could do with a handheld grip. I like that as well, Ben. A bit of gaffer or Gorilla Tape can also help turn any object into a tripod. It's so true. It's so true. Just get yourself a lamppost and stick your phone there. It's really useful. As long as you don't cover that camera, you can do anything. And that's one of the benefits of using a phone, you know, because it's so versatile. This thing that I've got here, I've hung from trees filming. I've been like, you know, lying on the floor. I put it into like little crevices and things to get the best shot. There was actually a documentary that was published in Ireland in RTE called The Collectibles. And it was amazing because it was all about looking at this woman who, well, one of the episodes was about this woman who made little doll houses. And the film producer said, rather than actually, you know, using a big camera, I can't get a good shot. They used their mobile phone and put it in a little doll house, and they were able to get these really extraordinary shots. The same with if you're filming something that's seemingly boring, like making a cup of coffee, you can get really creative shots. Why not put this, you know, on the phone surface, get your glass that's like see-through and pour the coffee cups in. What an amazing shot you're going to get. Or go underwater and take some great shots. So you can be really creative with these as well. Do what's required to get the job done. Thank you, Marcus. Exactly. So as I mentioned there, you've got free stability options as well. So hold your phone close to you in slow sweeping movements, or lean your phone on an object at home, music stand, plant, bookshelf, or get yourself some gaffer tape. Now, audio. Okay, so audio is super, super important. Okay, so when I'm filming a video, now what our phone cameras are going to do is they're going to record audio from all over the phone. Now, if I'm filming you guys right now, the audio that I'm recording is not going to come from this bottom microphone. It's actually going to be recorded with that little microphone. You can see a little hole there. Oh, sorry, my background's blurring into my camera. You can see a little hole next to your phone camera. There's another mic there on a lot of your phones. Now, what will happen is this phone is going to record audio from all over the device. So if I'm filming an interview with you, what's going to happen is I'm not just going to hear you. I'm going to hear the coffee machine, the air conditioning unit. I'm going to hear cars pass, people chattering on the street. So what I would advise for you guys to get is yourself a little microphone. Now, like with the tripods, you can get a variety of expensive microphones or really, really cheap microphones. The microphones that I personally use are about 20 to 30 pounds each, but you can get really expensive if you're looking for wireless solutions as well. So I'm going to go from right to left on this screen here. So on the right here, you'll see these lapel microphones. Now, as I say, don't get bogged down with any tech or equipment. Just think, okay, I need to make sure that I can hear my interviewee. So all you do is you're going to plug in at the bottom of your phone a lapel microphone, and the other section with the microphone on the end there with that little windshield, that's just going to clip on to your interviewee, and you're going to have beautiful audio. Okay, you can also get dual lapel mics. You can see there, I think it's a picture at the top right. Yeah, you can even get dual lapel mics where you have two people speaking at one time going into your mobile phone, and of course that's content that you can, you know, edit together. So you're going to get great audio if you use a microphone. If you want to go wireless and have your interviewee or yourself a long way away from the camera, like make it really professional and run away from the camera, and, you know, like news producers, or, you know, if you're creating maybe a short film or a sketch or something, you might want wireless audio. Now, Samsung are a great make. This is not the like Samsung phones, it's Samsung, and they have wireless microphones. So if you want your presenter to stand there with a microphone, let's say you're running an event and you want it to look really professional, you can have that as well with a little microphone mask around it. Or you can get plug-in mics. So at the bottom there, I've got a plug-in microphone that just plugs into that lightning port at the bottom of my phone there, and then I can angle that to my interviewee. So you can get point and shoot microphones as well. And if those of you that work in a company already that already has expensive cameras and expensive microphones, if you've got, and don't worry about this if you don't already have this, but if you have XLR input microphones, you can see there on the left-hand side, that iRig Pre little black box that enables you to plug in these really expensive microphones like a Sennheiser microphone into your phone. Okay, so there's so many different options with the audio, but I would recommend for those of you starting out is to go and get yourself a little microphone, like a lapel microphone on the right hand side. You can get these off Amazon for about £20. Best Buy you'll make, brilliant. And if you don't have a microphone, you can use a variety of different techniques to kind of get around this if you ever find yourself where you've forgotten your microphone and you're in a pickle. So I've put there at the bottom, in windy conditions, you can use a sock as a windshield over your microphone. That often works quite well, but I wouldn't necessarily advise that. But if you don't have a microphone, use the microphone on your headphones to capture audio. So for those of you that have headphones attached to your phone, most of them will come with a headphone port here. So, you know, when you talk into your phone for phone conversations, you can also do that for interviewees as well. So you're going to pin your headphone microphone to your interviewee or to yourself, and you'll have better audio. Always think about your audio. And lighting. Now, lighting is very, very important as well. So like everything, you can buy additional lights and additional things for your phone. So you can see here at the bottom of the screen, there's a tripod, and you can attach different lights on top. So you can have lights that change brightness, you can have dimmable lights, you can have lights that like selfie lights that clip onto the top of your phone. You can get those from TK Maxx, or you can go more expensive and go to like Manfrotto or other companies. However, if you don't have a light, I personally do not use a light because I'm usually always shooting in bright scenarios. So I use natural light. Okay, so shoot your videos outside with natural light from the sun. So for example, you're seeing me now, there is a window right in front of my face. If I was to completely turn the direction, my face would be silhouetted. So always think about where the light is coming from. I always say bum to the sun. Okay, so if you're filming something, your bum has to be facing the sun, okay, so that the light is on your interviewee. Okay, so your subject, the person you're filming, has to be lit up and beautiful. Okay, so as I say, film a window, the light should be on your subject. And if you don't have lights, let's say you're filming indoors, or every single, you know, Saturday you wanted to do a little piece to camera about what your company's been up to that week or what you've got looking forward, and you're in a dark and dingy office, you can use lamps, you can use table lights, just to basically brighten your shot. So thinking about light, stability and audio with your shot is so important. Okay, so bum to the sun it's definitely worth remembering. Okay, so those are the bum to the sun, 4 words that you need to think about from today. Okay, so what I would like you to do from this session onwards is to go and download Power Director, go and download Quick, and get started by shooting using your native camera. Now, if you would like to go on to the advanced, you know, sections, you want to be thinking about those other apps I spoke about: Filmic Pro, LumaFusion for iOS devices, KineMaster for Android and iOS devices, because they are a little bit more technical where you just need help. So, okay, I'm just going to go through and see if there's any questions. Any questions, now is a good time to ask them in the chat. Now, for those of you that want a little bit more help and a bit more guidance, we do have a course called Smartphone Video Production for Beginners. I'm just going to play you the video, what it's about. I look a little bit different there. I shot that last year when I had black hair, so I promise it is me. So yeah, this is a little video about what that course is about, so you can get practicing. So write your questions in the chat while this is playing, and we can do a little bit of a Q&A afterwards as well.
Hello and welcome to Smartphone Video Production for Beginners, the fun, practical course that's going to empower you to create your own amazing video content with no video experience needed. During our time together, we're going to get hands-on with shooting and editing, the two skill sets that you need to master to create beautiful video. By the end of the course, you'll feel confident in using your smartphone in a range of scenarios, ready to bring your ideas and stories to life. This small but powerful device truly is a production studio in your pocket with extraordinary potential, and it's up to you to unlock it. Stick with me, Caroline Scott, to learn the production skills to create eye-catching videos that resonate with your audience, whether they're watching TV, streaming video online, or browsing on their favourite social media platform. We're talking interviews, pieces to camera, video features, and more. This is a hands-on course with tasks and challenges for people who really want to learn the art of video production as well as the power of their smartphone. Imagine being able to shoot and edit a whole host of beautiful video content by yourself. Exciting, right? So, whether you want to promote your business or services, start a new YouTube channel on your favourite hot topic, or even produce captivating storytelling for social media channels, I'll show you how, and I'll even throw in some of my secret tips and tricks to help you stand out from the crowd. You're in good hands, as I'm a video journalist and trainer by trade who has taught TV producers, journalists, marketing teams and business owners all over the world to produce video content with their smartphones, and I am thrilled to do the same for you. This equipment is faster, cheaper, lighter and more flexible than traditional high-cost bulky equipment, and therefore extremely accessible to us all. So, what are you waiting for? These videos won't make themselves.
Okay, so in that course we go through using all of these apps, your step-by-step guide, but we also talk about how to tell stories as well. So exactly what we're going to shoot, rules of composition, framing our shots, how we use shot sequences one after the other, and there's lots of different quizzes and tasks for you guys to do at home and in your own time as well. So we've got an offer on today, £197 from £497. So I've put that link there at the bottom if you guys would like to go and do some more filming and really get started yourself, because there's so much opportunity out there, and I really want you guys to just take this by the horns and just go and experiment and see what you can create. Actually, I've been teaching a lot of my family during this COVID time, and it's actually amazing like how quick you can just pick this up. So I'm going to answer some of those questions in a minute. Make sure that you write any questions in the chat. So as I say, today we're running this course, £197. There's 20 different modules. You can go through us step by step from being a complete novice to feeling really, really confident and setting up your own workflows. And today we're running an exclusive offer where we're giving that course away for £197 plus VAT. But I'm also going to give you a bonus, which is the first bonus is the advanced course as well, which is worth £497. So for those of you looking to do Filmic Pro, LumaFusion, KineMaster, these are all detailed in that bonus session, as well as filming techniques and social media, which is mainly covered in our second bonus, which is the Social Media 101 Produce, Publish and Engage course as well. So you get all of these three courses for £197 plus the VAT there. So it's worth over £1,000. So definitely take advantage of this course, because you guys, this is just for the Saturday school. So we're not running this after today. I'm going to play you the video for the social media course so you can see what it's about and see if this is something that you'd like to do. And then we'll be answering some of these questions in the chat. So I know some of you have asked about green screen and about putting two people in the shot as well. So we'll be going through those.
Creating content for social media doesn't have to be complicated. With just your smartphone, you have everything you need to produce beautiful videos and images that will engage your audience online. Whether you're looking to boost your brand awareness, build an active social community, or drive traffic to your website. In this practical step-by-step course, Social Media 101, you'll learn how to produce eye-catching content by yourself, using the latest apps and tools on the market. But that's not it. Oh no, you'll also be guided through the social media landscape as it stands today, so that you can make an educated decision as to what the best platforms are for you and your brand, and how exactly you're going to use them to get closer to your audience. We're also going to dive into developing a content strategy, unlocking the workflows that mean you can effectively create and distribute as much quality content as possible, whether you're working alone or as part of a team. This is such an exciting time to get started and thrive within the digital media landscape. So grab this opportunity with both hands and join me, Caroline Scott, as we transform the way you create and distribute content for social media with your smartphone.
Okay, so this is the offer we're running today, guys. If you would like to get this offer, this is the code and the website. I think Ben's also put that in the chat. So Jancy, what's the time commitment? So each of the individual courses, if you were to just sit there and watch them, they'd be about 2 hours long each, but they are designed that you go away and you do some exercises at home, you come back and then you go in, so it's all in your own time. So essentially you just go away and do an exercise, feel really confident in one section and then move on when you're ready. So, you know, there's no pressures to finish it in a specific time. You'll have access, and the social media course is also updated all the time with new social media data and new social media platforms and stuff. So really pleased with these. So yeah, these are all online courses, and you guys can ask me questions as well. This is access as long as the Internet Business School is running, which I'm sure will be for life. So I also have a Twitter page. I don't think I can actually write in this chat the Twitter page. I'll post up my Twitter in there so you guys can DM me with any questions that you might have as well. Now, Charles, you asked about putting two of the same person in one shot. Good question. Okay, so if you were going to shoot a video with me now and you wanted another one of me to come and sit next to me and have a look at myself, like I think there's a Halifax advert that does it. Basically what you're doing is you're keeping your camera in exactly the same spot and you're recording something. So if I was going to be on the left hand side of the screen, I'd record myself saying something here, and I'd make sure there's a tiny gap between my shoulder and where I was going to film my next video. So my next video would be here and I'd be reacting to myself. And then when I go into Power Director or LumaFusion, I would place these videos on top of one another and I would crop them so you can only see the left hand side of one video and the right hand side of another video, and then they would be bouncing off each other, so you would see two people on screen. So it takes a little bit of practice, but it's very doable, and once you get the knack of it, you'll be fine. Green screens are basically, there's a lot of green screens available online. These apps do enable you to key out green screening as well. So if you do have a green screen at home, you can record something to camera, you know, speaking directly to your phone. Then you can just put it into one of these apps and you can key out that green screen. iMovie, Power Director, KineMaster, LumaFusion, they all do that absolutely perfectly. So definitely have a go with them. There's so much opportunity out there that you guys can get started with. So definitely have a play around. Marcus has put go compare. So how did I lock the focus earlier? If you are on an iPhone, you're going to tap the screen to focus. You're going to tap and hold and wait for that yellow box to appear around your camera, around your finger. And you'll notice that even if somebody ran into the background, they would not come into focus because it's locked. Thank you, Ben. Yeah, you've put a definition of green screen in there. So green screen is where you want to change the video behind you. So you can see here, I'm on Zoom and I've got a different colored background. It's not the same thing, but it's similar technology in the fact that I can now place myself in different scenarios so that you can make your videos a little bit more interactive. So I am available for you guys to ask questions as you're going through the course. The best place to get me is my DMs on Twitter, so you can just message me there. And oh, I love Ben's put Internet Business School has been here for 14 years and will be here forever. Good stuff. I've been to a lot of the Internet Business School courses myself as well, and that's where I originally met Ben, which is great. So yeah, do make sure you sign up, guys. And as I say, like, there's a lot of opportunity with this kind of stuff. The best way to go through this, if you're a bit unsure and you think, oh, where do I start? Go through the beginner's course step by step in your own time. There's lots of different videos in order that have been specifically placed so you develop your skills throughout, and then you move on to the advanced course. And at the same time or afterwards, you can go on to the social media course where we talk about social media data, how to choose the right platform, some of the features and exciting things you can do with some of the platforms, other companies that have been using these platforms in exciting ways that you guys can replicate and copy. So you don't need to be a genius to do this. You just need to know the right tools and just to get to grips with it. And as I say, like, you have already the tool, you have it, this is it. And if you don't want to go and buy a tripod, you don't have to. If you don't want to go and buy a microphone, you don't have to. You can use the microphone on your headphones. So it's not a case of, oh, this is a big commitment in terms of starting to create video. This is an opportunity that you can use by itself or in conjunction with any other business, you know, motives that you guys have. And of course it works very, very well with the type of information that Ben's been sharing with you earlier as well. Marcus, exactly. You can have some fun with videos. Yeah, no nudity. Okay, brilliant, guys. Ben, would you like to come in and maybe we could do a bit of a Q&A, because I think we've still got about 15 minutes, so maybe this would be a good opportunity for us both to be here to answer any questions. Because I mean, I've actually met Ben years ago. We met at one of the Simon's courses. You were teaching there, and I was actually filming a video for Simon, so I went to Ben's class. So it's great to see you.
Yeah, super. Yeah, well done. Thanks for that great content as always, Caroline. And I just want, I mean, we all know it, so it's not about pitching at all, but just I think from the very early days, just saw way ahead of where we've been even in the last 3-4 years, just this has revolutionized and democratized, you know, Oscar-winning movies, documentaries being shot on iPhones. And like Caroline says, you know, like, great, whether or not you take this up, but for the small and nominal investments, you know, just think, I think the question, if we jump back into just what, if all things being equal, so let's just put this again. I'm always trying to just put things into context. It's kind of how my mind works. So let's say that you invest in the training, or maybe you don't invest in the training. You take what you've learned today, maybe you upskill even more with the training, and all things being equal, you, after doing the training or just applying what you've learned today, even like with the steady shots, using the apps, can differentiate yourself from the other 15-20 people who aren't doing it, who aren't using the apps or not using it the way that Caroline instructs you. Think about how that can help position you, you know, if you're doing that and putting that content out into the marketplace and into the arena, as well as helping people. But I mean, it's incredible, isn't it, Caroline, to think that you can do all of this just with what we're walking around with in our pockets.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, we are all TV producers. We all have a studio and a TV show. We all have our own platform to go on. You know, when we were all younger, it was like, if you wanted to get information out, you had to get your advert on TV, or you had to, you know, get your news story on the television, or you had to get somebody to interview you. Take the opportunity, guys, of building your own brand. Like, get online, talk to your customers directly, create videos, engage with them, do live streams. Even if you just did a video every single Friday to talk to your audience, that is still a step up from everybody that's not doing that. Everybody that's not having that instant engagement. I was actually speaking to somebody else, one of the other participants from Internet Business School, and he says that every time he speaks to somebody on LinkedIn, rather than message them, he'll send them a video and he'll say, thank you so much for connecting with me. This is my name. This is what I do. I'd love to have a chat with you. Just having a little video there, that takes him 2 seconds. He films it on a phone. He makes sure it's set up beautifully, has a microphone plugged in. But all of these skills, guys, you can use these if you want to make beautiful series on Facebook and adverts for your business, or if you just want to get the word out a little bit more and connect with people. So, you know, it's not about becoming the next, you know, Steven Spielberg, or, you know, creating all this amazing content, which you can do through smartphone video, you can do through video, you can build your business that way. But if you're just looking to get the word out, to talk to people, to create things that's a bit more engaging, we saw there with that app Quick. Look how quick it is to make a fun video, you can post out on Facebook, so much more engaging than just writing words.
I'll just share with you, I actually learned that from somebody else a few years ago, Quick, and he'd been on a travel, and he just showed me like a 1-minute video, just bam, 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 bam. And it was just like, wow, wow, wow. And it had beautiful text. I'm being serious. And I was like, oh my gosh, who did you use to do that video? And he was like, what, you don't know? Because I didn't know about it. And he was somebody who'd been on my training. I said, no, how did you do that? And he said, oh, I can't wait to show you. And he just showed me Quick. 5 minutes later, had produced something similar. Honestly, if you're a technophobe, or even if you're not a technophobe, but so easy. If you do nothing else apart from today, I mean, obviously suggest the training, but get that app, game-changing app. Again, just being able to take so many different ways. I'll put up a link as well. If you just keep talking, Caroline, I'll find a link to a book that I'll give as part of your giveaway, Caroline, 101 Ways to Use Video. So I'll chuck that in there for people as well, okay?
Thanks, Ben. That's nice. Look at this like parcel. It's so nice. It's nice. Send me a book. I want to read it. Yeah. Guys, yeah, I mean, it's just about getting started. If you are nervous or you think, oh, I can't make video, most of the people that I teach on a day-to-day basis at small marketing agencies, or whether they work for a small company, they've never shot or edited a video in their life. And actually, by putting the practices of stuff that they do every day and just learning little techniques, they actually become really confident in interviewing people, asking open questions. How do you get the most out of your interviewee, and how do you form this video? You can do that. Lucy, you've asked about editing on the PC. Now, if you use Power Director, you can edit on your PC and you can edit on your phone as well. So that's an app that goes across. Or you can use iMovie. That's a really good one as well. There are a lot of different PC editing tools. iMovie is my favorite. Power Director, of course, as well. But I really recommend editing on your mobile phone personally, because you can edit on the train. You can edit, in your lunch break. For me personally, I spent like a long time shooting, a news story, as I said at the beginning, going back to my desk, compressing all the content, exporting it, editing it all up, syncing audio, and it was just a nightmare. I used to film an interview with somebody and record the audio separately, then sync that audio, then put it all together in a software. I used Final Cut Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, I've used Avid. All of these are so much more expensive. Yes, they are fantastic pieces of software. Yes, they're brilliant. But if you get started with smartphone videography and you develop your skills and you move on to LumaFusion and KineMaster, that are stunning apps that you can create absolutely phenomenal content on, where you can have branded logos, branded content and text, that every time you go to shoot a video, let's say if Ben was going to do a video every single Sunday for 3 months, he could already have his text, Ben Brophy, with his job titles and some logos in the background. And every time he goes to shoot, he just takes that old video out, puts the new one in, and all of his logos, watermarks are still there. So it's so super quick for you. It's not a case of every single video I have to start from scratch. The idea is that you're going to make your life so much easier, that this is like a workflow thing, because this little tool is not just enabling you to create brilliant video, it's also taking the stress away from you that the bigger cameras often give people, especially if you're new to videography and you've not been in the industry for like 3 years. So as I say, smartphone is always my recommended go-to, as opposed to desktop editing software. And I shoot and edit for broadcasters. So the content I'm shooting and editing is not just going on social media, but it's also going on television, and they can't tell the difference. Shot on a phone. Like, guys, you can shoot in 4K. It's so great.
Let me one question that I ask, actually, let's just do this in live time. So we still have 121 people live. So let's just ask, when you're watching online on social media or YouTube, how often have you said, right, I'm turning that video off because it's not shot on the latest £5,000 DSLR camera? So just type in quickly, please. So just type in, guys. I just want to see interaction. Right. How often, or have you ever switched off? Okay, so let me just finish with that question first. So, yep. So no, never. We've got coming in. Okay, if you haven't typed in yet, you missed the boat on that one. Okay, hold up. So have you ever switched off a video because either you can't hear them, or because people are wasting your time and they're not clear on their content? Question pretty much answered. Loads of the top influencers are using exactly what Caroline wants to go further with you and share with you in this training. And if you can differentiate yourself from the vast majority of other people who don't know these small, subtle but powerful tips, and you can do it, you don't have to go and buy the expensive equipment, £197 plus VAT. But it's really interesting. Just ask that. Remember, we want to be able to hear what they're saying. We want to respect people's time and help them and get to the point. Yeah, no,
that's such a good point, Ben. Like, the amount of times we think everything needs to be perfect before I publish it. Everything needs to be like just the way I envision it. Actually, no, it doesn't. If you look at some of these influencers, they put content out. They're not necessarily worried too much about the quality of the video. And yes, quality is so important.
Yeah.
But the content, the story, you might have heard content is king. So your message, how you're engaging with them, are you, fulfilling their needs? Are you really, pulling their attention in as to what I call thumb stopping content? So, you're scrolling through your phone on the bus. Oh, you've seen a video you like, you're going to stop. That is thumb stopping content. And this is what I've designed these courses to achieve. So it's not just about the technology, which yes, we do cover all of that kind of stuff, resolution, frame rate and all that. But the majority of the course is about storytelling, about connecting with the audience and how we use the shots that we take in order to do that. So yeah, really excited to have you guys on board. I'll put my Twitter link in the chat as well, so you guys can find a way to contact me. But I believe that Simon is only running this this promotion just for the Saturday school, Ben, right? So it will just be for today.
Oh, this is totally just for you guys on the call now, which you want to thank you. I'm about to share my slides as well, so thank you for sticking around.
And this, Ben, shall I stop showing my side?
No, keep going for a moment. I'll just be 1 minute. I'm just exporting the slides, but this is a special because we want to give you great value, and because you've stayed here and given of your Saturday to invest in yourself, which is amazing. So irrelevant of even if you don't take the training, just want to, I think, on behalf of yourself as well, Caroline, don't you agree? Like, thank you. You're not above is the wrong word, but you're taking the time to invest in yourself, which most people aren't doing, especially not on a Saturday morning, which is commendable.
Yeah, Sellers put, is there a community, Caroline? There isn't a community in terms of like, with my courses, but there's a lot of people that have taken them, but I haven't kept them all together. But, the Internet Business School, we have a community here, obviously, and it's been nice to see how people that have taken this course in the past, they've actually, shared their knowledge with other members of the Internet Business School and kind of created that community feel, which is nice, because I think that with, some of the tools and the skills that we've covered today, using our mobile phones and sharing that knowledge is really, really important. And it's like what you guys do with when you're talking about advertising and marketing and SEO and all the other amazing things that you guys learn here, is actually to share our knowledge and develop this little community. So I'm sure when we do it in person events, hopefully when we get to run those again, then we can kind of all come together, which will be really nice.
Okay, right. If you just keep talking, I'm just looking to attach my file as well to send you. So I'm just seeing where I can do that.
Joy's asked, is this course different from the previous offer on Saturday School, Caroline, as I have the other course, but I love the bonuses and book. So this course that's offered in this offer here is a separate course to anything else that's been on the Saturday School. So it's different from all the other courses. So all the courses on Internet Business School are kind of different topics and from different instructors as well. So yeah, this is different. And it's specifically specified to smartphone content creation. So it's on smartphone content creation as opposed to desktop editing. And as I mentioned, it's a lot about storytelling. So, we talk about the different types of video you can do, but also the shots that you need to be able to take. Interviewing people plays a big role in the beginner course as well. So how to frame an interview, how to ask the right questions. Alex, Ben does, I don't know about the affiliate program of Internet Business School. I'm not sure about that. That's probably one for Ben.
Sorry, what was the question?
Alex Silas asked, do IBS have an affiliate program?
Yes, the Internet Business School do have an affiliate program. I don't actually work at the office. I come in and I help with training such as this and webinars and with some platinum one-to-ones. But let me just give you, if you haven't already got, Roger is the man to speak to. So it's Internet Business School Office at gmail.com. Internet Business School Office at gmail.com. It's Roger. Just fire him in an email. And that's a great way. That's a win-win as well. I'm already thinking, cool, I should collaborate with you, Caroline, and that's a great way to potentially earn income, recommending products or services that you believe in or you think can add value to other people and then getting a commission for that.
Yeah, I've seen like loads of different examples of how you can use video. I saw one actually which was used online the other day. It's been used throughout lockdown, is people interviewing other people which are experts in that field. So, you know, going on LinkedIn or going on Facebook and interviewing people on Zoom. So for example, if you guys are sitting at home and let's say you are a graphic designer and you want to sell your services as a graphic designer, you might interview lots of different amazing graphic designers around the world, record that interview on Zoom, bring that content into Power Director or Quick and export that video. So you have lots of different content. Because obviously you've got to remember that video isn't just about selling yourself, selling your services. Video is also about positioning yourself as an expert in your field. And we've all got a skill, haven't we? We've all got these unique skills. I could go through every single person, you know, who's listening today and think, you know, learn from one of you guys in a completely different area. So if you have a skill or knowledge inside of you that you want to get across, or an opinion that you want to share online, video is a great way to do that as well.
I'll just add with you there. So thank you for staying. I'm just giving a bit.ly link. I'll have it for you in a minute for the slides. So just in relation to that, one of the easiest ways, and this is totally relevant for every single niche, to generate content is to do interviews, to speak to other people. If you can listen to people, interviewing, listening to people and asking intelligent questions, other people are creating most of the content. If you look at many of the influencers and the people who've got podcasts, even on television, a lot of the hosts, you know, they're the host. So you're the or whoever your designated personality is, or the representative, but actually the interviewees generate the vast majority of the content. So it's a very easy way to generate content. And just in terms of just a couple of tips, if you are doing interviews, make it as easy as possible. So just obviously good reminder is that on the whole, especially if, let's say, in the social media world, somebody's got much more sway and influence, so they probably know that somebody who's starting out wants to kind of piggyback off their influence, okay, to a degree. So even if that is the case, whenever we, and this is a good tip as well, if we go back to what we were talking about this morning, turn I language, so in your copy and in your websites and in your social media, turn I language to you language, so it's about the other person. They don't care that much about you. But also, if you're approaching an interviewee, potential interviewee, make it as easy as possible for them and let them know what you're offering for them. So look, I'd love to interview you because I think I really respect you as an expert or as an industry leader. I'd like to help position you to my audience so that you can reach more people. I'm happy to share any links to your website or anything that you're promoting. So there's kind of, with the balance again, it's not just all about me, you know, I want to interview you so I can get more people. You know, yes, that is what I kind of want to do, but actually I want to help position you to reach new people, and I'm helping to promote you or your website or whatever you want to promote. And we can do it at your convenience. So, you know, let us know when is convenient for you, so it becomes an easier yes to them. So just a couple of tips. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, don't be scared about reaching out to people online, because this is actually a perfect time. Everybody's at home, you know, lockdown isn't fully over yet. I know it's starting to unravel, but people are at home and do have a little bit more time. So if there is somebody that you want to speak to or interview, or, you know, you just want to be creating more videos and you just need somebody to practice with and just practice interviewing, you just want to feel a bit more confident, just reach out to people. You know, there's a saying, slide into somebody's DMs. It's basically like, you're just going to approach people, just approach them. You know, if you use an Instagram or you're using LinkedIn or Facebook and you see, you know, somebody that you really want to talk to, just approach them. The worst that can happen is they say no, isn't it? And then when you're speaking to them online, you're recording a video. When you've downloaded that to your computer, then you can start editing it, and which is great. One tip I would say, if you are recording an interview with somebody on Zoom, make sure that you remember everything that you're seeing on Zoom is what's being recorded. So if you have the pictures side by side, you and your interviewee, that is going to be your video. If you have them full screen, that's going to be your video. So sometimes I prefer, if I don't want to be in the video, I make them full screen the whole time. So that records. If I want me and the person I'm interviewing to be in it, maybe I'll have it so it's flicking between us talking, or we're side by side. So just a random tip, but I always say that to people because it's something that we might forget. Oh, thanks for sharing your slides there, Ben?
Yeah, so just I've just punched in the slide, not punched in, I've just uploaded the slides. Sorry, that's what I was just doing. I had to upload to Google Drive, but they're there for you to download. So I would suggest just take a note of those. The link is and actually it's not a bad thing for you to, people can see your slides, that's not, but so the link is bit.ly/Ben Brophy slides 2021 for anyone who's watching back on replay. bit.ly/Ben Brophy slides 2021. That will give you all of the slides from this morning, which should be useful. So last calls, if you would like to take advantage of Caroline's great offer, again, business question. Simon always just says, so who's the person who's made over 30 million? Simon, he's always just like, is it a good business decision? What's the potential return on investment? So if you feel inclined with Caroline, take the opportunity, you know, learn these transferable skills, which you remember. The one thing as well I love to always, and I was just listening, I was being sort of you know, sold something, an investment opportunity last night, and they just said what goes in here can never be taken out. You know, once you learn skill sets, once you learn information, it can't be taken out. All it happens is it can be seeded and it can germinate and grow, and who knows where that's going to go.
No, it's so true. It's like every time you go to shoot a video and you remember the principles of how to frame a video or whatever, you just, you know, you take better home videos. You take better shots of your dog, your cat. It's the same with posting on social, or, you know, using principles that we, you know, you guys have been covering, not just this session and Ben's, but also previous weeks as well. When you do a course, you'll just remember this and put it into practice on a daily basis, which is great. So yeah, take advantage of some of the courses as well. Oh, Joy, thanks.
Thank you.
Being too kind.
Okay, I've just seen somebody's reminded me. Okay, I said that I would send you Tony Robbins as well. Just bear with me. Any more questions? If you take any more questions, Caroline, I'll just see if I can find the file.
Sure. If you guys want to reach me on Twitter, you can just send me a message on my DMs there. You can just message me on there, but yeah, the offer is only available through the Internet Business School website. Thanks, Alex. Thanks, Irina. Thank you very much. No, it's great. And guys, it's still early on in the day. I know some of you might be watching this from other countries. If you guys are in the UK, then you are, you know, it's only lunchtime now, so you can go away and put some of these into practice. Derek, I'm not sure about the replay. Ben, sorry I know you're busy. Are you aware of whether this is going to be replayed, or maybe we'll just share the slides and then, because I'm not sure about that, guys. So
sorry,
Derek was saying, is this going to be on replay?
It will be on replay for you who have shown interest in the Saturday School. Simon will provide a link, I'm sure. Yeah, I'm certain that there'll be replay. I've just seen Shahina. Hello, Shahina. Lovely to see you, or hear from you, should I say. This is different to my training, Shahina. Actually, it's the first time that I've connected with Caroline for a few years, which is lovely. So this is new, contemporary training, different to the workshop you did with myself. Okay. So the video will be on replay if you want to watch this. Thank you, Irina. Lovely to have you on here. Yeah, nice to hear from you. If you would like to do the also £47 as well, just for anyone who asked, if you'd like that, that is only for you guys today. That's a new course with hundreds of tactics. I've put the link in there. So last calls, guys. We'll give everyone time to crack on with their Saturday afternoons or their evenings or their mornings, wherever they are around the world.
It's still good weather here in London. Ben, are you in London?
I'm just North Hertfordshire, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah.
I'm going to get out because I can see the clouds coming in. Sorry, I'll just share with you guys as well. Here's a point in case. Will be another 3 minutes. We'll come off at 22. I actually have bookshelf over on this side and bookshelf over here. This backdrop is just sometimes depending on what I'm sharing. And this morning I was like, it's quite sunny outside. So I've just turned my chair and I'm facing a natural window, and this is just natural light. Okay. And that's just some wood paneling that I've just painted. So people only see what they see. You don't see that I've got books here. And actually, I've got another computer screen, but I'm just saying, because a lot of people think, oh, I've got to have a perfect studio. No, you don't. You just need to frame what you're shooting.
Oh yeah, and guys, another tip for that is if you want a specific background that's like a funky background or something, you can go on Amazon and buy like ironable, like they look like posters. There's just like material you can hang from a wall, and you can just put them on a wall behind you, and it looks like you're in a studio set, or you could have like a funky color. So if those of you that are not, you know, comfortable with green screens, or you want a completely different background, you can just either find somewhere cool in your house, or you can just go and get yourself an ironable background that you can play around with.
I'm just going to share the screen before. See, those who stick around get bonus tips. That's the way the cookie crumbles. So well done, the 109 of you who are still here. I'm just going to share with you exactly what Caroline is talking about. Can you see my screen? So I've gone to eBay. I've typed in photographic background, and then from like £5 upwards, there's loads and loads of sort of all of these images, wood, brick, nature, and all sorts, and you can get that from sort of, you know, for £10. A little tip I would share on that is just be aware of the size of it, because sometimes you want maybe at least 6 foot, 5 foot wide. Sometimes, yeah, it's a bit like a tripod. A tripod looks like a tripod. If you don't look at the measurement, a 40 centimeter tripod looks the same as a 2 meter tripod. So just to pay attention to the dimensions, but great tip. And then you can have a change of different backgrounds. You can be in front of a brick wall, you can be in front of a wood palette, you could be in front of a sky, and you just change your background.
Exactly. So, I mean, I think it's really important to understand that you don't need to go and spend a lot of money. Like, this kind of stuff is available to everybody, and you know, you just need to be creative. So if you don't have access to a big room, or you just have a little desk and a phone in front of you, you can connect with hundreds of people. So yeah, definitely take advantage of that, and don't feel like you need to go out and buy all the courses and all the equipment and every single little thing. You just need to start practicing. Like, the person that actually picks up their phone today, opens up Quick or Power Director, or gets started with the things that Ben's talking about online, they're the people that are going to progress much faster. So,
well, let's leave it with one of oh, hello, we've got some lovely people. Sorry, it's nice being on here because there's people who've gone on the course. So hi Peter, great to hear from you. Stella,
Stella's had trouble with your link, Ben, could you post it in there?
Okie dokie, I will do.
Where
are we going with that? Simon says done trumps perfection. Right, done, doing it, getting it done. Gary Vaynerchuk says the same. Whilst you're worrying about, you know, what colors this and the perfection of that, he says, I've done 20 pieces of content, I'm throwing the spaghetti. I'm not saying always to do this, but he's like, I'm out there. And that's the difference. Whilst we're still in our heads waiting, there is, as we said earlier on, what does every consumer need? A creator to create the content. What does every creator need? Consumer. So one way that we can find the time, we said that at this beginning of the day, but it's a good reminder, one way that you can find the time to do the training with Caroline or myself or whatever it is, and to make the content, is just to take even 10% of your consuming time and just allocate that to creation time. Do you know what? I'm watching 2 less YouTube videos, and I'm going to use Quick, and I'm going to quickly make something.
Yeah, that's what they say. Don't consume before you create. So if you find yourself in the morning scrolling through Facebook, then think to yourself, I could be making something for my own Facebook here. What am I doing? Wasting all this time.
Okay, great. I'm just going to get that link for those of you who asked about it. Exactly. So Caroline, I'd like to say thank you on behalf of the Internet Business School. It's been lovely personally to connect with you, but on behalf of the Business School, thank you for being here today. Thank you for sharing a wealth of wisdom and insights.
Thank you for having me. I've enjoyed it. Thank you.
And guys, if you've got some love for Caroline, just share it with her, please. It's always good to share the love.
Thank you, everybody. So nice you guys have stuck around for so long, and go and have a nice rest of your Saturday. And I guess, you know, there's other Saturday schools, so you guys have got a week now to practice these things, and we'll see you next Saturday. I'll be joining next Saturday. I'm not sure who's speaking yet, Ben, but I'll be one of the viewers as well. So there's lots to learn. So great. Thank you so much, everybody. It's great to be here.